Yo, 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 what's up? What's up, fight fans? It's your boy BBO Boxing coming to you live and direct. What's up with everybody? I'm gonna let everybody come in real quick before we get going. Um, Waiting on my co-host, Prize Fighter. You know he on CP time as usual. So we're gonna get my man in the building. But we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about today. Um, Boxing, man, there's so many good things going on. I'm excited about the Sugar Shakur versus the I think it's Yoshi or Yoshini, whatever the case may be. This is another showcase fight. This would be a good fight to really show you what Shakur can do long term. Here we go. CP
Yeah,
himself.
nah. I've been sitting here
First
waiting.
fighter.
Shout out BVO Nation. Y'all smash the like. Y'all smash the subscribe button and comment with us, man, and get ready for this movie.
Yeah, but before you came in, man, I was just bringing up the Shakur versus Shino fight. So what you
Mhm.
thinking about that fight, man?
Like I said yesterday, we apologize yesterday. Had bad weather. We can't control the weather. But like I said yesterday, the guy he ain't ready. I ain't gonna say he not ready. I take that back. He's not on Shakur's level. He drops his head down, he puts his head down, and he just fling punches. And like I told the audience yesterday, I know you want to see knockouts. I think Shakur stops this guy Saturday. And I saw the press conference, and he tried to reach out and shake Shakur's hand. Shakur wasn't on none of that. He's looking
Mm-hmm.
like he war ready, man. And I just think Shakur is gonna just dog this fighter. It'll start off a little slow because that's just how he is. But when the rounds start to go by, I promise you, Shakur is gonna brutalize this guy. It's gonna be like Gotti Mayweather. Watch what I tell you.
Oh man, hey, talk about putting 100 on 10.
Man,
That's
yo.
my man. Hey, but you know what? I can see what you're saying. Shakur is a terrific fighter. Sugar is a really terrific fighter. Only thing is this. Let's be honest here, prize fighter. This is another showcase. Uh, we know Shakur is not gonna knock him out because he can't. I'm not saying that he doesn't have power, but pretty much at this point he is what he is. I mean, he has the pillows on his hands, but that doesn't take away from the kind of ring technician he is. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that, but I'll just tell you this, man. When he gets in there, I mean, he's gonna absolutely blow this kid out of the water. I watched one of his fights. I mean, he's very one dimensional. This is just almost like a talk about stealing some money. Shout out to my man Floyd Mayweather, man, saying that your boy Sugar Shakur is stealing some money right here, man. This fight, this guy has no business in the ring with Shakur, man. This is not even going to be worth. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be even worth. I'm gonna watch it because I'm a huge boxing fan. But guess what? If you want to know why Sugar Shakur is not a bigger name, look who he's fighting. I don't know, prize fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, he fighting at home. Who is this guy? I mean, did he go down to the local, Uber station and say, I need the best cab driver y'all got right now? I mean, Jesus Christ, man, who is this
Yeah.
guy? I mean, he's
I
going
don't
he's
know.
going to walk through this guy. I
Yeah.
mean,
I don't know who the guy is. That's that top rank stuff. They got
mhm,
it. Like I said, he got it. Like I said yesterday, Shakur got to eat. He got to feed his family. There ain't no food out there right now. And everybody's like the top guys are in. They're in. They got fights already. You got
mhm.
Devin and Loma, and you got Tank and Ryan. So that kind of leaves Shakur on the outside. So he has to stay active. So I'm okay with this fight. The guy beat Nakatani. It was a good fight, but if you looked at the fight, he got hit a lot in that fight too. And his last two fights, he's like you said, he's one dimensional. He don't got no business in the ring with Shakur, but Shakur got to eat, man. So he has to eat. So throw him in there. Let's get this out of the way. Let's see what happens with Devin and Loma. Let's see what happened with Tank and Ryan. Then we can go from there as far as Shakur. But I feel like he's doing the right thing, not taking the rest of the year off. He's getting
Mhm.
another fight in. So I'm excited for him.
Hey, and that being said, you also got, I believe, Keyshawn Davis on this card. This would be a wonderful opportunity for another young, terrific fighter to come out there and see what he can do. I mean, what's funny? I like the way Keyshawn Davis talks, man. I like how Keyshawn Davis is so brash. He may come across arrogant to some, but really the kid is just very confident in who he is as a fighter. And I'm telling you, man, I really want to see what happens against this guy. This guy's going to be pretty much a step up for Keyshawn. I mean, the thing that's so crazy about boxing, I don't know if you agree with this on with me on this one, Prize Fighter, but it seems like these guys, man, are not, fighting enough. And when they do fight, I mean, it's a freaking showcase. I mean, it's just, I don't know. If you want to know why people are not interested in boxing, this points right to it. I mean, me and Prize Fighter had a conversation off air a couple of days ago about this, and I'm telling you, something has to happen because you got Sugar Shakur. How old is he? About 24, 25?
Yeah.
So he's 24, 25. And if you compare him to like another all-time great, one guy he gets a lot of comparisons to is Floyd Mayweather. And to tell you the funny thing about it, isn't it crazy how Sugar Shakur, because he wants it, is probably more accomplished than Tank. He's definitely more accomplished than Ryan, as we know. But no one knows who he is. I mean, when he came out the Olympics, man, I'll never understand why they didn't push this kid. I mean, he got beat to death, in the Olympics. I know a lot of people say he won. I don't know what they was watching. We seen him in there. He was crying like a newborn because he felt like he won. But I digress, man. The thing is, they're not pushing American fighters, and when they do push them, it seems like now that we got our eyes on Shakur, who is he fighting? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't he? I don't know, man. If he was gonna fight a guy like this, man, he should have stayed at 130. I'll just say that, bro.
If he's not, all right, okay, let's do this then. Who is he supposed to fight? It's a new division for him. Who is he supposed to fight? The
I
guys.
mean, you
I
got
believe the
Frank
guy's
Martin out
undefeated.
there. You
Who?
got Frank Martin out there.
That's come on now. We ain't gonna do that.
Hey, I'm saying you said who is he gonna fight? I'm naming
saying they
guys he
on the
can
other
fight.
side of the street. That's that top ranked PBC stuff. So let's just get Frank
But
out
do
of
they
there.
do that at the smaller weight classes? I don't necessarily see that at the smaller weight classes as I do. Really, only really weight class I see it at is just welterweight. I never really see them play those games with Cool Boy Steph. Cool Boy Steph is about to fight Monster in a way. Um,
That's a fact.
he fought Brandon Figueroa. I mean, Cool Boy Steph is running around here fighting whoever he wants. So I honestly could say, bro, I don't even believe in the side of the street no more because if me and you are being serious, bro, is there really a side of the street when you got guys like Cool Boy fighting whoever they want? You had Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. I mean, let's not play like we don't get the fight. It's just at welterweight. I don't know, man. The truth be told, I don't know if Terrence Crawford wanted that fight at the time. I mean, now that Errol Spence is coming off another car accident, maybe he might take the fight. I really believe it's a little bit of both. I think they was nervous about Errol getting in the ring with Terrence. And I think Terrence was nervous about what Spence could do to him physically. Cause I mean, I don't know, man. It's just I hear that whole side of the street thing, but man, at the end of the day, Sugar Shakur, if he couldn't get a fight with Isaac Cruz, who ducked him, a couple guys ducked him, so I'm not completely putting it on him.
Right.
But I would love to see him fight like a Frank Martin, somebody like that, or
Definitely.
or maybe a Michelle Rivera coming off a loss. I mean, all those little guys that they got over there at Top Rank, the best they could do is this guy. I mean,
I don't know. It's a showcase fight, like you said, hometown fight for Shakur.
Yeah.
I still might drive out there, but I'd rather do a fight party again.
Yeah.
So I'm a little torn between that because I'm gonna be in Jersey this weekend. So he has to fight. I mean, that Frank Martin fight will be a little bit more complicated to make.
Mm-hmm.
Rivera, that's the Ali boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a cheater, so he doesn't deserve to be in the ring with Shakur. I don't even want to see that guy. Pitbull Cruz would have been the fight to make, but Shakur can't make him get in the ring. The guy clearly ducked him when
he ducked him.
Jose, what's his name? Jose Sulaiman.
Yeah.
Mandated the fight, sanctioned or whatever.
Mauricio.
The fight.
Yeah,
Mauricio. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Me. Mauricio Sulaiman. He scheduled the fight, say, hey, look, this is what we need to happen. These are the mandatories, this Pitbull turning into a Chihuahua because he's really not that good.
I would agree with that.
He's okay, but again, he can't beat nobody like Shakur, Tank, Devin, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
He can't beat none of them. So you know, that guy, that would have been the fight for him. Everybody would have been excited. It'd probably be, you know, it probably would have a lot more buzz. And I don't think Top Rank is doing a good job with promoting Shakur, like, especially with this fight. Nobody even knows, only us hardcore knows, us hardcore fans, we the only ones that know Shakur is fighting this weekend, bro. That, like, the casuals, they don't know. You know, so because it's not a big enough opponent. It's not a big enough buzz around the fight. They should have been selling this fight. Yo, it's a hometown fight. The kid's excited. You know, he's excited to fight in front of his family and friends. You know, we got a guy that gave, you know, Tank Davis some problems. Even though Tank had one hand, he still got beat. Still, nevertheless.
I gotta ask you this, man. I don't mean to interrupt, but I gotta ask you this, man. On what planet did he give Tank a good fight? I don't know, bro. I mean, Tank beat him like you said with one arm. I don't know what people was watching. So I guess if you let him
like
punch,
I tell you like this. He landed some good punches on Tank. Let's just say that it was a little close fight. You know, it was a decent fight. You know, but if Gervonta could beat him with one hand, what would Shakur do with him with two hands? He would just brutalize this guy to be ugly. You know, the kid can take a punch. Isaac Cruz can take a punch, so he probably wouldn't stop him, but he would beat him up. You know what I'm saying? So, Shakur is a showcase fight again, and he has to feed his family. I think he got a new baby, you know, a new family. So, you know, I'm pretty sure he's like, yo, I don't care who it is, Bob. I need to fight. You know what I mean? And they haven't done a good job with promoting the fight, and I just can't wait till Shakur is big enough to be on his own. You know what I mean? He just got to keep winning, regardless if he's knocking these guys out or not. Win the fight and move on to the next thing. And when he's big enough, he can break loose from that Top Rank and, you know, go do what he got to do, man.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. I know we got our next subject, man. I know you're gonna get into it, but this is the thing I'll say, and I'm gonna leave it at this. This is my final thoughts on it. When are we gonna see more American boxers, man, do what they gotta do? When? That's all I ask you, man.
Boots Ennis does his things. Terrence Crawford, he doing his thing. You talking about new fighters, these young boys?
New fighters.
The young boys. I don't know, man. I just hope they continue to win. That's all I want them to do for right now. Just win the fights. And then, you know, as their career progresses, you know, hopefully we'll see some big fights with them guys in there, man. That's what I'm hoping for. I just want them to stay active. They're not Mayweather. They're not Money Mayweather with his one fight, two fights a year. Like, who do they think they are? When Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas, I believe he fought like 2 or 3 weeks before that. You know what I mean? Weeks. So, like, these kids are fighting twice a year, once a year, sometimes none a year. Like Charlo, whatever, Big Charlo, he ain't active. You know, he got stuff going on, but I just want these kids to stay active. That's the most important thing. Just stay active. Go in there, just beat up people. I mean, it's okay when Canelo go in there and fight these cab drivers. Nobody has a problem with that. When certain fighters fight cab drivers, it's okay when they do it, but when the American boys do it, it's a problem. So all I say is for them to just keep winning, doing what you're doing, and it's gonna happen because it's some good fights to make. You can mix and match them. You got Devin, and you can go Devin Shakur, Devin Tank, you know, Shakur Ryan. You can mix and match those four. So, you know, and you want to throw Pitbull in there, he'll get beat up by all of them. But
dang,
yeah, I think they all.
You low on that Ryan, kid. I'd say at least.
Even Ryan beats him up.
Oh, even Ryan. Okay.
Yeah. Even Ryan beats this guy. You know,
this guy's crazy, man.
I just want him to see
heard my man Prize Fighter say that. You heard him say that. You heard him say it live on the show. He said even Ryan could beat Isaac Cruz.
Yeah, I believe Ryan. I would put my money on Ryan. I think Ryan would just like I think it'd be rough for him, but I think he squeaks the fight out, maybe in a split decision. But I think Ryan beats him.
So you basically saying you see him beating Isaac Cruz probably decisively, right?
Yeah, I think he beats. I think he does enough to win. You know, it might not look pretty. You know, again, Isaac Cruz can take a punch. You know,
right.
Because Gervonta was hitting him with some good shots, and he ain't go nowhere. You know what I mean?
So that makes sense. I get what you're saying. Basically, what you're telling me is that he's gonna have a tough fight against Isaac Cruz, but he stops Tank in the 7th round. I agree with that.
Nah, negative.
I agree with that. What's that term you said about Tank's jaw? Shattered glass. I like that.
Ryan's jaw. Shattered glass. I know y'all see the comments with BBO in his community dropping. You will see me. You will see Prize Fighter up there saying shattered glass. I'm not even speaking on it no more. I'm just gonna comment shattered glass every time he talk about the fight. Shattered glass. That's what you're gonna see.
He talking about Tank Davis, y'all. In case
Tank
y'all don't know.
Davis shattering Ryan Garcia's glass jaw.
And you know what? This what I'm gonna do. This what I'm gonna do for the BBO Nation, man. If somehow, which I highly doubt, don't see it happening. If Tank wins, beats Tank beats Ryan somehow, which I doubt, I'm gonna let my wife hit me in the face with a pie live on a podcast. I
Yes,
want y'all to know
for
that.
saying some clown stuff.
No,
That's
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because that'll be egg on my face, and I haven't went this hard for a fighter since I was going for De La Hoya versus Floyd, and unfortunately, as we all know, De La Hoya was too old to give Floyd any kind of work. But I digress, man. What's our next subject, man? What's our next topic, bro?
I got we can touch on that Bud and Earl thing. Yesterday I was cooking a little bit, but we'll just refresh the audience again that about Terrence Crawford's sister. And there's more to it now. It's more to put on top of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Crawford's sister tweeted out something. Basically, what she was saying is, why everybody want to report the fight is announced. The fight announcement first. Everybody wants to report. Everybody want to be first, especially on YouTube, especially in our boxing community. Everybody want to be
Mm-hmm.
first ones to report something. So basically, she was saying, why y'all don't let the fighters do it? You know what I mean? So then Bud said what he said. So it looked like Bud might be trolling everybody, and the fight is probably done. And then I promise you, this is my last time giving any kind of energy on this Terrence Crawford Earl Spence thing. If they don't fight this time, I don't want to talk about it. We can come up here. I'm gonna be quiet. I don't want to talk about it. I don't care who ducked who. I don't care. I don't want to put no more of my energy into it. I'm done with it. I'll talk about the fighters if they fight in other fights. We can cook on that. But if it's them two, oh well, this one ducked and that one ducked. I don't want to hear about it. I'm done with it. But to get back to the subject, to the topic, she tweeted that out there, and so people taking it like, whoa, look what what she said. She tweeted that, and now Alexis Rocha is moved on from the being the mandatory for Terrence Crawford. He's now fighting. I forget the kid's name, Anthony Young. He's fighting. I forget
Anthony Young, you got it.
Okay, yeah. So he's moved on. That fight is set, ready to go. So that is another sign that the fight is possibly done, actually. And but this is my last time putting any of my energy onto this because all the signs said the fight is done, but we gotta wait and see, man.
Yeah. I think when it comes to that fight, I think it is done. I think we spoke a little bit about it, but Terrence Crawford is lame. And I'm not saying it to tear the brother down, but you know what? He just say a lot of corny stuff. I heard him say F the fans. I heard him, tell other boxing creators, man, your mother should have swallowed you. That's classless, bro. I understand you upset, but you emotional, like you just out of control with it. One of my favorite things I always bring up is when he got in that fight with Jose Benavidez Jr. This dude flipped the table. I mean, just think if the table hit Jose Benavidez and broke some or hit something. Come on, man. This dude really knows how to mess up a bag. I mean, he he just does, man. He knows how to mess up a bag. And the funny thing is, the more I don't see Arrow on the ring, the more it kind of makes me think that man, Bud could beat him. And, and
Definitely.
and 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 the reason I say that, man, is because as my man Prize Fighter always brings up, we know Errol do not live the fighter lifestyle. He does not. Him, um,
Big
Jamal
Charlo,
Charlo, Big
Canelo.
Charlo, Canelo, um, Tyson
Canelo
Fury.
might be worse. He might be the worst one.
I don't think anybody's worse than Tyson Fury, but Tyson
Yeah,
Fury.
he's a
I mean,
pig.
my thing is this: if he get in the ring doing that dumb stuff that I seen him do, and then if you seen the Ugas fight, he did a bunch of dumb stuff that if you get in there with somebody like Bud Crawford, he'll hurt you bad.
Badly.
And I honestly seen him beat David Avocado. Man, he beat the stuffing out of his gloves, just beating him
Mm.
on his head. I mean, I never. I can't think. Hey, Prophet, have you ever seen a cat do that, man?
Not
Like
with
just
two
beat his
gloves.
gloves up on somebody's head?
Wasn't it both his gloves?
I think it was. I mean, they just was like they
He
just was
beat
blew
that
out
boy.
from.
He beat the cotton out of the padding out of his gloves on his boy head. And that knockout punch was just so brutal, man. That was one of the most brutal ones I didn't probably seen all year that year. That was bad.
Especially at that low weight class.
Yeah, especially he put him out of there. But I gotta disagree with you when you say Bud know how to mess up a bag, because that's all he's been doing is getting the bag. So I don't okay, maybe he ducked out. I don't even like to use that word with him. I don't think he ducking the fight, bro.
No, I don't.
I just think his business, like this, how I feel. I feel like Terrence Crawford is just unsure of doing business without Bob Arum now, because that's
Yeah.
so he tried to go in there and talk to Earl, man. Let's get this guarantee money and and all this stuff, man. The fight's gonna sell itself, man. So you're gonna get your money, man. But I respect him for wanting to do it his way, and and trying to even talk to Earl on a private tip, to say, look, let's do this. He probably tried to lure him over to BK, what's it called, BLK Prime. I
Yeah.
don't know why he wanted to try to do that, because that
Yeah.
network or whatever they are,
It's
they
a
got a
startup.
lot of shady.
It's a
It's
startup.
fine, but they got shady stuff going on, because it was some shady stuff with the people. I believe it's the same people with that Mickey Bay. Damn, what's the boy from Philly? Damn, I'm drawing the blank.
Ain't that Mickey Bass from Philly?
Nah, the other boy, yeah. But damn, what's the man? I hate when I do that, but God, I forgot the kid name. The bald head kid. He wanted to fight Tank a while ago. He used to pull up on Tank all the time. He got a couple losses. Damn. And I like the kid. I actually seen him fight live, but so it was some shady stuff going on anyway. So, why not? Why would you want it to be on the app? You want to put it on, you want to fight on Showtime, or, that's where it's at, man. So I don't know. I just think he's not good with making business decisions and letting Bomac. I guess Bomac is the one doing the business. If it is, I can see why this stuff ain't
I
the
hope
fight ain't
not.
happening.
I
Man,
hope
so
not.
I've been hearing Bomac is the guy he go and deal with that. He don't
Yeah.
Terrence don't go in there and deal with Bob. I heard it was Bomac. I could be wrong. So, but I just don't think that. And then the Terrence Crawford fans. This is what they'll say. They'll cook you. They'll be like, well, how he doing bad business? He getting $4 million a fight or whatever he was getting over there at ESPN fighting. The 140 pound. I don't care about that. We off that. That's like, I don't want to talk about what he did at 140. I'm talking about at welterweight. He been fighting lower competition. Other than Sean Porter. That's it.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. I'll say this: we got a couple comments. Salute
Good.
to my man, Just Do. Salute. He also said
That's
salute to
dude.
me and you, prize fighter.
Salute,
Hey,
my dude.
I'll tell you this, man. The thing about the whole Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight, I don't understand what Errol's doing. I mean, I've been a big fan of Errol. I seen Errol actually really take the belts like he said he would, and it's just like the stuff outside the ring, man. I just don't understand like why he's not living a fighter lifestyle. I mean, unfortunately, he got hit by, I think it was a kid, stole his parents' car, and somehow he got hit, or something crazy like that. But it's just like,
Yeah.
what kind of positions are you putting yourself in to get
But
you in this, man?
we
Like,
don't know. We don't know if he hasn't been living the fighter's lifestyle, because the Instagram stuff that I seen after the first accident, Earl looked
mhm.
like he was in shape. His face looked pretty good. He didn't
Yeah,
look like he was 180, 190. You know what I mean? He looked good to me. So, it's unfortunate. He got bad luck, I guess. The kid banged out. Cause I hear a bunch of channels, was saying that the accident was staged. I'm like, that's crazy,
I
but
don't think
okay.
so.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
don't know. I mean, whatever. That's fine. They can have their opinions, and I respect their opinions. But me, I just think he just had bad luck, and he needs to, tone it down. Something is telling me that he actually did tone it down. I feel
so.
like that he has been living because that was a bad accident in that. What do you got? A Lambo, a Rari, whatever he banged out in.
Yeah.
Yo, I feel like that really woke him up, because in that Ugas fight, he looked at real good, slim and trim.
Hmm.
He looked real good, unlike Mikey Garcia when he fought. If you go back to that fight, you could tell Earl was blown up in there. That's why he probably couldn't get him out of there, because it probably was a fat camp. You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
that was one of his. And what's so funny? People talk a lot of trash, but that was one of Errol's best
yes,
performances.
he
I
was
mean,
in
he
his
was
bag.
terrific in that fight.
Yes, he
I
did.
mean, the boxing, the jab. some of those same things that he displayed in that fight, I seen him do later, like the jab when he fought Danny Garcia,
Mm-hmm.
the ring generalship that he showed against Ugas, and I'll say the fighting on the inside like he did. I
Mm.
mean, he just really. I mean, I heard it. I heard it reported earlier, man. He was like Robert Garcia was really trying to stop that fight, man,
Yeah, he wanted to stop it so
because it
bad,
was
but
just.
Mikey was like, no.
And you know what's funny, man? I really hate to say this, but people like Mikey, my man Deontay Wilder, man, these guys have taken years off their life. Like
Yeah.
these guys don't understand, bro. You're gonna die a few years early off getting
We
beat
can't say
like
that.
that, bro. Like,
We
no,
can't
I'm
say that.
serious, bro. Bro, we talking about the human body here, bro. We talking about the human body. You talking about getting beat like that? We talking about you in a constant car accident for what? 45 minutes? How long is a boxing? What, an hour?
Yeah,
I
some
mean, 2 hours sometime. I mean, you for however long you in that ring, you literally getting beat up. That's like getting to be in a car accident the whole time. And if you've seen that fight, I gotta be honest, man. Mikey Garcia never looked the same.
no, he
He
definitely
never looked.
did.
He never looked like the same Mikey Garcia that beat up Adrian Broner, where he looked sharp. Never was the same Mike Garcia that beat up Robert Easter. And Robert Easter, man, people forget, he a bartender now or something. He got a bar, so he a bartender now. But
I heard he
dude,
was doing good outside of the ring.
no, he doing really well. No, he's doing what? When I
Yeah.
say bartender, I mean he running a bar. I'm just
Yeah,
being a
shout out to
goofball.
Robert Easter.
Yeah, he doing
Easter
his thing
Bunny.
out there in Toledo, man. So
Yeah, shout out to him.
Robert doing his thing, and he really, really beat Robert up. And I had
Yeah.
never seen Robert
I was
get beat up like
shocked at
that.
that. I just knew
Yeah,
I lost a couple dollars on that John there because I just knew I said this Easter Bunny's gonna just beat him up, man. But I
no,
was wrong about Mike. I knew Mikey was tough though. You know,
yeah,
Mikey he not whack. I know people don't like the Errol Spence haters don't like to give Earl credit for that. Or why you ain't stop him? Well, who has? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Mikey can take a punch, obviously, but Earl Spence, that whole and I agree with you 100%. That was one of his best fights to me. Like
yeah.
he was in his bag, especially that when Derek he came back to the corner. I don't know if you remember the round it was because I don't. He went back to the corner and Derek James like, we're gonna turn it up this next round right here. And
The
Earl
sixth
came out
round,
there was
the
in his
sixth round.
he was in
After
his
he was just
bag,
really
bro.
beating him. I mean,
Man,
he was beat. I mean, and you know what's funny? One thing people don't realize, it take a lot of skill to beat a guy up like that.
yeah,
It took a lot of skill to say, you know what, I'm not gonna get him out of here. I'm gonna just beat him up. And I could say, and that's the thing that sucks about Errol, man. He wasn't 100% then. You know what's funny? He's almost like, if I made it equivalent, he's almost like Kyrie Irving, where we've never seen him 100% healthy.
mm,
We've never The best we've seen him was he was at maybe 80% when he fought um Mikey Garcia. And think
mm,
about it. We haven't seen that since. So I mean, at some point, let's be honest here. Errol is not who he once was. Bud is not who he once was. I mean, if anything, this would be a great fight for both these guys. I mean, it's almost nauseating talking about it because we've been talking
yeah,
about it for months and months. But you know
yes,
what?
years.
If if we get this fight, I mean, this just to prove to you, hey, boxing's not dead. Um, you got Ryan Garcia going to fight Tank. Say what you will about that fight. These are two young guys in their
Mm-hmm.
prime making the fight happen.
Shout out
And
to both of them.
and tell me this: how come the young kids always seem to want to be fearless, but the guys our age want to play around and miss their best and miss their moment?
I have
I
no
don't
idea,
understand that,
man.
bro.
I don't get it. It's not the same no more. Us hardcore fans that's a little bit older than these new hardcore fans, we got to just accept the fact that the times have changed. Like
Yeah.
the physicality in football and basketball has changed.
Hmm.
So we got to just deal with the if you true to it, then you got to just deal with what it is. The music, all like we probably don't like a lot of the new music the young boys coming out with. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that. If the times have changed, it ain't the same no more. So this how they moving. So if the young boys is the ones that's hungry, they hungry for that light, that limelight. They want it. You know what I mean? The people that's been getting $1 million for the last couple of years, they not tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll fight a David what's his name? Avocado.
Yeah.
Like get
David
him out of here.
Avocado,
Terrence Crawford. He's
George, what was his name?
Cambozo.
Yeah, Kemp Kebab, whatever you call that
Yeah, I
kid.
call him Cambozo because he turned into a clown when he tried to duck Devin, but they offered him a offer he couldn't refuse, and he saw
Yeah.
what happened. But
But you know what though? If you think about it on a deeper level, man, it just points back to the society at large.
Yeah.
You don't really have young guys or young women that's really willing to go out there and make it happen. Everybody want to be like on some Instagram stuff. Everybody want to
Yep.
make it seem like they never struggled. They want to make it seem like they never had a bad day. At the end of the day, when I was a youngster, man, we would eat the whole lot of donut. So
Yeah.
if you know what that means nothing. You know, it was pretty. It was plenty of times me as a kid, I would come into the cabinet, and you can't tell now about how I look, but when I was a kid, man, you could brush your hair in the back of my fridge. So I made sure when it was my turn, it wasn't gonna happen that way. But these kids, everybody wants to make it easy for their kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Floyd went through all that hard work as Pretty Boy Floyd to make it to what boxers get. $1 million paydays, $2 million, $3 million paydays, $60 million paydays. And let's be honest here. Floyd didn't even do right with the money that he was making. Floyd is not fighting for fun. I'm gonna tell you again, Floyd Mayweather is not fighting for fun.
I
Floyd is
disagree.
fighting to pay bills.
I disagree.
But I mean, and you, by all means, I'm gonna let you grab it off this. But why would a guy who's been fighting since he was maybe, his videos of Floyd at like 10 fighting.
Hmm.
So a guy who's been fighting since he was 10 and is almost 50. I think he's like 45, I believe. So he's still a young
Hmm.
man. Don't by no means am I saying he's an old guy, but
For the sport,
he for the sport, what is he doing in the ring?
he's
And
it's easy fights.
I mean, I don't know, man. I keep just hearing that he's been spending as much as he's been making. And 50 Cent said it years ago that Floyd fights, spins, fight, spins, fight, spins. And at the end of the day, his lifestyle, if you think about it, bro, it hasn't slowed down. Floyd been buying cars like he on GTA. He
Yeah.
been doing that, bro. And now you see him fighting these YouTubers, and it's gonna go back into my point. Now you see him fighting YouTubers, but he talks about Ryan being a YouTube boxer. But ain't you making money off these YouTubers? Then you just
Yeah.
get like a $30 million payday from fighting Logan Paul.
Something like that, yeah. But Floyd, I don't. This is my thing with Floyd. It's two things why I believe he's in the ring still. I believe he's in the ring because he's addicted to money. Like any other addiction, somebody might be addicted to alcohol.
Hmm.
Somebody might be addicted to drugs. Somebody
Hmm.
might be addicted to, this all. I don't want to say too much, but there's a lot of addictions. We
Right.
all know what they are, and
Hmm.
the money couldn't be, who's to say it can't be? He might just genuinely be addicted to money. He gotta have it. And the spotlight. Floyd is not ready to give up that face of boxing type of, he still thinks he's the face of boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's people that are gonna say he still is, and there's gonna be a lot of people that say that he's not. But I think he's addicted to those two things. Like, he has to be in the spotlight. As soon as somebody announce a big fight, here he come. I gotta fight. You know what I mean? And he go out there and steal money and rob banks. And I think he's addicted. I don't think that he's hurt for money. He does got some good investment that nobody likes to talk about. There's a nice sized building down New York City that Mayweather got money into that building. So I'm sure that there alone, uh matter of fact, I believe it's that big glass building. You go up, you got to wear the little booty things on your shoes. It's all glass and it goes up high. I believe he
Yeah.
got money, big money invested in that. So, and there is billionaires that do like him. There's people, that's around him, and I'm sure Floyd Mayweather is not fighting for money, bro. I think he's doing it because he can, and it's easy money. You can go and fight novice, basically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And make 30 million. Who's doing that right now? Earl and Bud, you put them in there, they might be the closest ones. Or Fury
Hmm.
and Wilder again, they might be the closest ones. But other
Hmm.
than that, nobody making that kind of money, man.
And you know what? I'll just say this, and then I know you got a bunch of topics we got to get to, but when you talk about Floyd, man, it just seems like it's always been the same pattern. The pattern is, fight, spin, fight, spin, and the funny thing about it, Floyd is so over the top. Like, it's been times. I mean, you will see him with like 3, 4 watches on. I'll say this. At the end of the day, me and you both know that there has to be some type of budget, no matter what level you on. And I keep seeing them fighting for a reason. It's like, and if you think about it, it's never back to back. It's always, hey, I'm gonna fight here, I'm gonna fight there. Almost like he's almost on the same schedule he was when he fought. I mean, if you think about it, almost.
It's a new
He,
market for him. He never had opportunity to fight novice and make the
mhm.
same kind of money he would for fighting the Sugar Shane Mosley, Canelo Alvarez. He's making the same. He getting these nice little money grabs for easy work, man. Like he barely has to even kill himself in training. He don't have to do what he did back then now. So it's so much easier now. And he's again, I feel like he's addicted to money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I feel like he's really addicted to money, even if he got $200 million in his account. If that John go to 175, he gonna have a fit. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a fit, and I gotta get a big payday. He's gonna start freaking out and doing what he do. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. There's no way that kid is. I ain't gonna say there's no way, but that kid ain't hurting for no money, man. That boy ain't stupid like that. Like people think he is, man. He not dumb. He's grabbing easy money, man, and it's easy because he doesn't want to let the spotlight go. He still wants to be the number one boxer in the world, but he can't let it go until one of the YouTubers crack him and put him out. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this, man. So our next subject, man. I'm gonna let you get into it now, but I tell you what, man. I hope the Errol Spence, um, Bud Crawford fight happens because you know what, this would be so big for the sport. I
Mm.
know nobody wanted to see Terrence versus Alex Rocha, and nobody wanted to see Keith One Time Thurman versus Errol. I'll be honest, I did want to see that fight
Mm.
because I wanted to see what Keith Thurman had left. And I'll be honest, I thought Keith Thurman when he fought Pacquiao, he really fought him, in my opinion, to a draw. I seen him get off the canvas and really, literally take the fight right to Pacquiao
Yeah, he
in
definitely
a
gonna
way
get
I
another
never
fight.
seen him take it to. And
Yeah.
and this is even when people say that Pacquiao seemed juiced up. But if you watch that fight again, the moment that Keith Thurman hit the ground from then on up, as he got up, he literally dominated Pacquiao. But Pacquiao had already got the 10-8 round, and Pacquiao had the cachet. And
He
we know
hurt
how
him
the
real bad
Filipino
with the
fans said
he
again.
hurt him real bad with the body shot.
Yeah, and it was just one of them things where, but if you really was watching that, being unbiased, you could really say Keith Thurman fought him to a draw. But I digress, man. What's our next topic, brother?
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. Real quick, I'm not mad at that like, because they like, again, these new fans, they not like us. I'll go watch the same fight 4, 5, 6 times so I can see everything. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And when I watched it, the first night I watched it, I was screaming and hollering down. I was in North Carolina screaming and hollering, watching the fight, and I could not believe what I was seeing. And I was like, I cannot believe Pacquiao just was in his bag like that. So I watched it the next day, and I was like, I don't know about that round there they gave Pacquiao, because you got,
Hmm.
official scorecards come out. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So you go back and look at the rounds that they gave Pacquiao. You know, what one Pacquiao to fight was the big first round knockdown. That was big. And then he really hurt Keith Thurman to the body bad, where Keith Thurman took his mouthpiece out and started running around the ring, bro. So the judges from then on, it was like, this kid don't want to fight. But if you look at it, man, Keith Thurman put it on. He was putting some stuff on Manny Pacquiao, man. That was a real entertaining fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. But it
it's
was.
funny. It's funny you say that, man, because when you watch boxing in general, I'll say this: I can't wait. I'm really hoping that Errol and Bud make this
Mhm.
fight because this fight, I'm telling you, this could be the fight that puts Errol Spence in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I mean, he's done some great stuff, but is he a Hall of Famer? Mm, not
He
really.
still needs some more stuff
He
left. I
got a lot of
think
work to do.
he got some work to do, but he needs a signature. Bud needs a signature win more than he does. But Bud's like, I'm already Hall of Fame. I'm undisputed and da 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 and all that stuff he say. So
But you
and I
know, but
don't
you know
disagree
what,
with
man?
him.
He did
Yeah, he did it.
fight and beat Victor Postol when Victor was a monster.
He did it, and
And you remember,
he boxed so beautiful in that fight, man.
man, everybody was like, "No, man, Terrence ain't gonna go nowhere near Poster," and he really went in there and made it look easy. I mean,
Easy work, man.
it looked
I
like.
mean, Terrence Crawford he was moving like I never seen him moving like that before. Well, this when I start liking Bud Crawford, when he
Hmm.
stepped in and fought Bridges Prescott and just like beat him up. Like
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this dude didn't even he took the fight on a short. And I'm like, who is this dude? I'm like, this dude is sharp right here, man. I'm like, I
Hmm.
kept telling everybody, I'm like, yo, you gotta watch out for this Terrence Crawford kid. And
Hmm.
I said, he gonna bust through. When he do, man, he gonna be on a tear, man. And that's what he's been doing. And I know I didn't gave him a lot of slack, man. I've been grinding him up, man. I've been tough on it because I just wanted him to fight the fight that he was supposed to, because I want to tell people like I don't want to be wrong, bro. I want to tell these people, like I've been telling people about Terrence Crawford for years. Some of my friends as casuals, and they was like, man, I don't even know this dude. Like, who's he fighting?
Yeah.
He ain't fighting the boy from Texas, and I don't want to talk about him because they don't know. And I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, you don't watch how skilled he is, bro, and how of a super athlete. And I'm gonna keep saying of a super athlete that this guy is, man. Terrence Crawford is special, man. He's fun to watch, but we want to see him fight like somebody dangerous. We like I was watching the Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter fight again. Because I got a lot of time. So I was watching the fight, and I was just comparing it to what Earl's gonna be doing and when they get in the ring. And Terrence, like, you know how Sean Porter like to come, he gonna come straight at you and try to get in there on you. He gonna try to get on the inside on you. Man, Crawford took a back step, then he took another back step, then he just made a nice little counter uppercut. Whop! I was like, that's the punch that's gonna get Earl up out of there if he gonna do it. That's gonna be the punch, because Earl like to come in the same way. You know what I mean? He'll take a punch to get there, so he can just rip off body shots on you. You know what I'm saying? But if he does that against Terrence and he's coming in reckless like that, man, Bud might get him out of here. But again, Terrence starts slow. Is he going to be doing that in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds? Because Earl's going to be doing what he do in the first 5 rounds. He going to come in there and try to wreak havoc early. So when you get to 10 to 12, you're going to be hurt from that body. You saw Ugas.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, you could say, I mean, people probably won't, but Ugas was really beating up Errol a little bit. He really was beating on Errol. I mean, not saying Errol didn't end up dominating, but early on, I mean, you could say who was throwing the bigger punches was definitely Ugas. And people say Ugas is feather fisted because we all know Ugas has gotten beaten up by, one of my favorite young fighters. He's not young anymore, but Amir Mong beat him. A bunch of 140-pound guys really beat on Ugas. And to see how he was really hurting Errol, it was one of them things where, it's funny, man, because Errol Spence is hard not to like. Let's just be honest here. He's exciting. Pause. He's a handsome kid. He's from Dallas, Texas. That's the home of the America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. He's always fighting at the Dallas Stadium. And the thing is, you just see this guy really, he just need this Terrence Crawford fight. And I hate to say it, but it's almost like Terrence knows that. And Terrence is kind of hanging it over his head like, I got what you want.
I feel like that too.
And it's like, it's so crazy. In what other sport would you see a guy not want to do undisputed?
Tyson Fury.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Tyson Fury, and I'll be honest, Tyson Fury's a dirtbag. I mean,
he's terrible.
I don't believe now. Prize fighter then chewed me out about this a bunch of times, but I don't believe no gloves was cheated or none of that. I just think he beat Wilder up. But Tyson Fury has been known. I think one of the refs, I can't remember his name. One of the refs said he's one of the dirtiest mofos I ever seen in boxing.
Yeah.
And the guy had been refereeing for like 30 years. He said he's the dirtiest mofo I ever seen in boxing.
I wouldn't, I seen some dirtier people. Man, I don't know. It's debatable.
So they say he dirtier than Sonny Liston.
I mean, because he didn't popped off. He got knocked off with steroids before, and he's had controversy with his gloves more than one time. It's not just Wilder. And I don't want to get into all of that because I want to stick to our topics. But you had a sparring partner that he was doing it in sparring, dog. He was manipulating gloves in sparring. You think he's not going to try that?
Wasn't that kid Cunningham or something like that was saying that?
Nicholas Asbury.
Sorry, Nicholas Asbury. That was his name.
Kid, man. He, come on, man. But
Cunningham was the dude that dropped him. Okay.
Yeah, Terrence Crawford. Go back to Earl and Terrence. This has the potential to be Hagler. Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler, or not Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler, but more like Hagler Hearns type of war, man. That's what I can. You know what I mean? It got a potential of that, man. And and that Alexis Rocha moving on to fight to fight Anthony. What's his name? Anthony Young. Yeah. That's a good sign, man. That's a real good sign. Terrence Crawford's sister the other day, between her tweet and him and Alexa Rocha moving on is huge. Who else is Terrence gonna fight now?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
did hear the WBA is trying to do something where they, even though you can't put a champion in your rankings, I did read, and I don't know if this is true. This was in Ring Magazine, which is owned by De La Hoya, unfortunately.
Mm,
And the Ring Magazine did report the fight is done, but you can never really go about off anything with that.
mm-mm,
If the fight is done, I'm telling you, it's going to be a great fight. You're going to see a lot of fireworks. You're going to really get to
mhm.
see some young fighters in there do what they got to do. But let's go to our next topic, man. You know we be on Terrence and them all day.
Man, because that's what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, what else we supposed to do? Like, we got Oscar Valdez in a rematch. I touched on it before we got cut off yesterday.
Hmm.
That's pretty decent for that card up there. Oscar Valdez is in a rematch. Damn, I'm drawing a blank on the guy name. I knew his name yesterday. I don't know it today, but that was a good fight on I believe it was on ESPN. So you got Valdez on there.
Who picked Ryan, by the way? I don't know if you seen the interview.
Yeah, I saw him pick Ryan.
Yeah, he
He just
said he
he's
said
sticking to the
by
script.
knockout.
Yeah,
By
well,
knockout.
he's
What's
delusional
the
too,
hey
bro.
Prophet? Here you go. What's the script now, bro?
No, he's sticking to the script. He's rooting for his people, and it's okay to do that. He's rooting for his fellow Mexican, his homie. What they
Hmm.
call each other. He's sticking to the guns.
So
You
you
know what I
staying
mean?
La Raza, huh?
Yeah, What's nothing wrong with Valdez picking him. There's nothing wrong with you picking Ryan. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I did see Oscar do that. He knows, and everybody else knows he's gonna get melted. Ryan Garcia gonna get melted. Everybody knows it. This is not a hard fight to pick. It's just not, man.
Hey, hey, that brother had too much of that Carolina barbecue, man. His
Yeah,
breath is
whatever, man.
gone.
Yeah, it's good too. But this dude, but I'm glad they put that. Man, what's the name? What's that guy name? He fighting him in a rematch. I'm having a blank right now. Oscar Valdez.
That was the kid that everybody said beat him, right?
Yeah, no. I believe Oscar Valdez. He got the TKO win. Man, but it was a good fight. Though. I remember I was watching. I was like, damn, they rumbling in here, man. They rumbling. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you probably would enjoy that fight because they're gonna be rumbling again, I believe.
yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of got Valdez this time because he been in there with Shakur. He got a little bit more experience, so
Hmm.
I got Valdez. But it's gonna be a good. I'm glad that they did something with that to try to because they give this fight no promotion with Shakur. And I can't stand to watch it because this kid is special, man. He been
Yeah.
sparring Terrence Crawford, bro, for years. So
Hmm.
this kid is ready to go, man. So I was excited about that undercard, man.
Salute to my man. Speaking of that, salute to my man Undercard. Salute to me and you, man. And my man said Blue Nose versus Oscar.
Mm.
Hey, I don't know if you guys have seen some of those pictures that just came out. I mean, they're not new, but they out again, bro. Where they had my man Oscar De La Hoya in lipstick and lace, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand why those. I don't know what Oscar was doing
But
on that, bro.
that's not the worst of it though. Now you can't like I seen an interview where this girl was saying what she was doing, she did something to Oscar. And I believed her, bro. I felt like I believed her, bro. And I was like, yeah, he probably sniffing that raw. He probably was wilding out one day. Oscar's a savage, man. I didn't know he was like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always liked Oscar when I was a young boy because he was the golden boy. He was the face of boxing, and he was doing what he wasn't ducking nobody.
Hmm.
Soon they could pretty boy. He ain't gonna, man. He fought the fights, man, especially back then, and he giving Mayweather an opportunity. Sugar Shane Mosley, he ain't had to do that. You know what I mean? He
No, he
rumbled him.
really.
He
He had
ran it
no
back.
business
I think they
fighting him for real.
right. I think they robbed him in the second fight, but it
Oh,
was clear that he lost the first fight at 47. The 54 fight, I thought that Oscar won. But they gave it to Shane. I guess they wanted to move on, and whatever reason. But that girl said some bad stuff about Oscar, and I was just like, wow.
my man Undercard said that's Oscar's truth. What's Oscar's truth? And then he said those pictures is Oscar in his true form. Oh my
Facts,
God.
facts.
Hey, hey, what's
Why
our
he do
next
that,
subject,
man?
bro? I ain't gonna let y'all tear up my childhood hero, man. That was my dude. Him and Michael Jordan, man.
Yeah,
He is
everybody.
me.
I mean, we like
I am
Oscar.
him.
I liked Oscar. You know what I mean? I thought Oscar came in there and fought, man. You know, I like Oscar, but he is what he is right now. Like my man said, he showed his true colors, man. He liked to dress up like that and play makeup and and I don't got nothing wrong with it's nothing, I'm just gonna move on to the next topic.
My man said Wilder and Ryan next. I know you ain't calling Tank no Wilder. He's
Mm-mm.
about to go to sleep. What's our next topic, man?
There's no way that Tank gonna get beat
Hey,
up by
man, we already agreed that Tank is about to go to bed. We already agreed that, man. You
you
already said
agree
it.
with that. And even in your community, nobody agrees with I ain't seen one person that agree with you yet. If they
Hey,
are, if y'all out there and y'all listening to BVO Nation, hit the link and we'll bring you up and you tell me why. This kid he not seasoned like Javante, man. Javante been in some fights. This kid ain't even won a world title yet.
my man Undercard said you didn't hear Ryan saying Wilder can't fight.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I heard that. Hey, he said he can't fight, but his right hand and da da da.
40 something knockout says it for itself. Deontay Wilder, man, I ain't gonna lie. You guys that say that stupid stuff like Ryan, you guys validate all those crazy voodoo doctor, witch doctor theories about Wilder because the man seems to be the most hated guy who I've never seen do nothing. Never heard about him doing nothing crazy. You never hear about him. I've never seen Deontay Wilder drinking or none of that stuff.
None of it. Family man. He does, I know people don't like the way he talk because he's just real geechy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that. You know what I mean? The guy didn't do nothing wrong. It's like kind of like LeBron James. Like he gets so much hate. He ain't did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? So Wilder can fight. I don't know what
yeah.
Ryan's talking about. Like the guy can fight, period. It might be wild. He might not be like textbook, right down the middle, but the man can get in there and rumble, dog. Like he almost died in there with Fury 2 times. So
Hey,
like,
hey, they really could have bought a casket off for him,
man,
bro.
and the guy walked off. Come on, give him some credit. Like, what you mean he can't fight? The man come in there and fight. Soon as Wilder get hit, all the game plan go out the window, and he go back to himself, and that's what he is. You hate it or love it. I choose to love it. The man can fight. The man got how many knockouts? He got 40 knockouts.
Yeah. Hey, we got a couple comments, man.
Yeah.
We already know my man Prize Fighter is a super fan of Deontay Wilder.
Currency to this day.
Hey, my man said can't wait for Wilder to announce his fight.
Right.
Watch outside the fans get. That's true.
Exactly.
My man said to this day. Salute to my man Currency, aka Salvatore, the Black Italian, man. Shout out to my man, the Black Italian Salvador, bro. That's my dude right there. Let me see. He also said, Wilder is the face of boxing, not even
Facts.
close. Not even close.
Man.
He said right on time. Hey, I'm gonna let my man Jimmy all the way from the UK say something. What you think, Jimbo?
I just saw your notification now. You guys talking about Wilder the face of box? I don't think so, bro. There was about 5,000 people at his last fight, and they tell it from on Twitter. They're saying they did about 70,000 buys, bro. I mean, that's not face of boxing. That's borderline undercard status.
I disagree. Yeah. He fought Robert Helenius and sold 70,000 at 69. What was it? 60, 70 dollars? Was it 50, 60 dollars a clip?
Bro. Yeah, but still the units, bro, are just so low, bro.
That's a lot, Jimmy. That's a lot, man. I'm gonna tell you why that's a lot, Jimmy. You never gonna see how it was when we was kids and you seen Floyd sell 3 million. That'll never happen again.
Nope.
That'll never happen again.
Yeah, it's not happening.
But you remember when Floyd? No, but do you remember when guys like Floyd and Pacquiao would sell 700,000 buys and fans would be like, "Oh, that was a low number." If 700,000, 800,000 buys were low, what the fuck is 70,000, bro? Like,
wait, now who sold
man? You talking about literally over 10 years ago?
Wait, hold on. Who sold 700,000 buys?
No, I think it was when. Do you remember when Manny Pacquiao fought Timothy Bradley and the pay-per-view was I think 800,000 buys?
Yeah. I thought you said Floyd and Pacquiao. My apologies.
No. Yeah, that was a big. But that's all the whole boxing did was promote Floyd, and they promoted
Pacquiao.
They promoted Floyd and Pacquiao. That was it. Mm-hmm. So Another guy who didn't get no Paul Williams didn't get no love.
Nope.
I mean, Super Judah didn't get no love. Man,
Margarito
Winky
got a
Wright.
little bit of love.
Bro,
Winky
even when
Wright
Floyd
didn't get.
fought Berto.
Go ahead.
Do you remember do you remember when Floyd Mayweather fought Berto? And I think he did something like 400 or 500,000 buys, and a lot of fans were critical. But if 500,000 is low, or 400, whatever it was, then bro, come on, 200K, 100K. I mean, what is that?
Yeah, we got the fire sticks now. You know, back when Floyd was fighting Shane Mosley and who else some good Canelo and all them guys, the fire sticks wasn't buzzing like they are now.
No,
Now
they
you got
wasn't.
so much piracy now. It's just really
Mm.
killing the game, and you know, so they charging more. And that's why people
Yeah,
get pissed off because they say, oh, well, the
I feel
fight's
like-
$100.
No, do you know what it is, bro? I feel like if anything under 200,000 buys, for me personally, that's not a pay-per-view event, though. Because it should be at least like, I'm not saying do 500,000 or 300, but not
See,
even
it's different.
200K.
It's different because they buy pay-per-views in the UK. They don't buy them over here, Jimmy.
Right.
They don't. You guys
different.
support. You guys, come on. Let's be honest here. You will never ever see a arena with 80,000 people. You'll never see an 80,000 arena with for a boxer. Never. You'll
Not here.
never see that. You guys support not only with your money, your time. It's a whole different environment because I believe boxing is mainstream
And
over there. So it's not
and
mainstream.
They
here,
don't
much in
care
Africa.
what you look like over there when it comes to sporting events. That is major.
I think Fury just did like 200,000, didn't he? I mean, beating up an old man in the UK. I think
he did 500. I think that's what the
yes. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, who was he fighting? But that goes to show, and I don't sleep on the UK fans.
They
UK
show up
fans
and show
are
out.
the best, man. When
Yes,
it comes to that,
they show up and show out. And shout out to the UK. They show up and show out, and they support their people. They don't care what they look like. That's what I like about the UK fans. They don't care what you look like. If you go in there, you doing what you're doing, they support. They show up. Like how many people did Joshua have at his last fight?
20,000.
It looked pretty thick in there.
My man said, hold on, we got a couple comments. My man said UK pay-per-view buys is $9.99. I don't know. And then he said,
I don't know about that, bro. I think it
he
was.
said it's a. He
No,
said
I
it's
think
a. I don't know. He said it's a two-sport country. You know, football and boxing. And he said, I'm done. He said, Jimmy, put that in the chat. 500,000. I don't know how many he did, but I'll tell you this: the UK fans have constantly outdone. Only person y'all didn't embrace in the UK is Lennox Lewis, and I don't understand why. But
I ain't get that.
that's the only guy y'all didn't embrace.
We'll take Lennox off y'all hand.
I think in the UK, I think £30 is about $40. So the pay-per-views in the UK are a bit cheaper, but Joshua just did 1.3 million with Usyk in the rematch. So Canelo Alvarez in America, he just did 1 million with Golovkin. So
yeah, but that was, I don't know how true that is. My man said, "What y'all talking about? We talking about pay-per-views." My man Jimmy saying that Wilder selling us, I think he sold like 70,000 pay-per-views is nothing. And I'm telling him, no matter what you do, it's not gonna be like it was before when you would see 3, 4, 5 million. I'll be honest with you, I would be shocked, and this is me here. I would be shocked if the Bud Crawford versus Errol fight did 1 million. I would be pretty shocked if that happened. I'm just being totally honest.
I don't think they'll do quite 1 million, but I can see 400 to 600 definitely.
You know what? I should take that back a little bit. You know what? You guys are right. I mean, you've got fire sticks. I've got one as well, bro. And I'll tell you, bro, if you set up a good fire stick with a good TV, I'm telling you, bro, you'd have to pay for pay-per-view again.
Nope.
There's the HD links. I mean, you got so much. You got, people live streaming on Twitter, YouTube, Fire Stick, Discord groups. You've got people, and a lot of people, bro. What they do, they'll go to a bar to watch the fight, or they'll just wait an hour. They catch the highlights on Twitter, on YouTube, and then 10 minutes after the fight, you can watch a HD copy of the full fight, bro. That's all you have to do. Wait 10 minutes. You get a full HD copy on Daily Motion or YouTube or whatever. And most people, I'll be honest, bro, like, I don't want to highlight this too much, but most people are struggling, bro. The average man in America, I'm sure, finds it hard to pay $100, bro, when the gas prices are through the roof,
Mhm.
when food is damn near tripling. You're paying like what, $20 for a box of eggs? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know
it's
what?
rough. Even here in the UK, it's hard, bro.
I'll be honest with you, man. I can't speak for that. You know, being upper middle class man, same thing with prize fighter.
Hmm.
You more or less talking about like poor people in America, people who probably make under $30,000 a year. But if you
Yeah,
honestly, if you middle class in America, it's not that bad, bro.
Nah, I
It's
got
not that
100
bad.
for it. I definitely got my hundo for
Yeah,
it.
so I mean, I don't want to sit here and inflate this like it's so bad over here. But my man Undercard said he thinks that Bud EJ does eight hundred
I
thousand,
don't disagree with that at all.
and he said eggs are expensive because the Connor Ben.
yeah. Shout out to Conor
That
Ben,
was
man.
a good shot right there. That was a good shot right there.
Hey, you know what though? This is the funny thing about it, man. A lot of that stuff that you hear in the news in general, and I'm sure it's just like if we hear like over here, what we hear all the time, Jimmy, about the UK is that you would get stabbed, like walking down the street. Like I'm sure that's not the case.
Yeah, I believe. Nah,
No,
I
to be
think that's
honest,
a fact,
I'm not
bro.
gonna
Like
lie.
Pat Stay,
There are
the
certain
battle
parts.
rapper guy. You know I'm talking about, Jimmy? Pat Stay, the battle rapper from the UK.
Can I be honest, bro? I don't want to go against anyone's sort of experiences, bro. There's definitely a lot of knife crime in certain parts of the country, but generally speaking, it's nowhere near as bad as what they say. I mean, although to be fair though, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, bro. I live in kind of like an upper class suburban area, so
Right.
it's not really what you'd call like a rough part, but there's a lot of knife crime. But I don't think it's anywhere as bad as places like Russia or America or Mexico. Like those places are, I think, a lot worse when it comes to crime. I mean, stabbings, but they're sort of more like really, really horrible, like really poor areas, which I think most people don't really go down. So,
Word.
but
Yeah, I
there's
mean
definitely knife crime.
it's the same here, Jim. I mean, I'll be honest, dude. I don't go to my old neighborhood for what?
Yeah,
For what? To get hurt? I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
the
tell you guys
comments are
a
crazy.
crazy story, man. I had a good brother, man, good friend of mine, flashy cat. He was a street pharmacist, of course, unfortunately, and they lit my man up like a Christmas tree.
Mm.
And that was one of the, I hadn't been close to him in some years, but that kind of almost make your eyes sweat to think a good guy like that got like executed
Mm.
and where we grew up. So I mean, there's no need to go to the hood. There's no need to be a part of that goofiness, man. So I'll be
Yeah,
honest, I'm like you, man. I'm removed from it, man.
me too. Far from it.
My man
Shout
said, "How
out
I
does
to
think
Amir Khan get
Undercard.
steroids from shaking Jimmy's
Undercard.
hand?"
Undercard is on. Undercard in his bag right now, man. Like he's
Hey, but you
trolling
know
Jimmy.
what? I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this, Jimmy, about the UK. So when you guys look at, I don't know how far you go back. Do you guys ever feel like you guys wasted a talent with Carl Froch? Do y'all feel like Carl Froch hit his absolute peak? Because I think that was one of the best fighters ever come out the UK. What do you think, man?
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, I think so, bro. I think looking back
Mm.
at Carl's career, he had a lot of really, really tough fights with Kessler and Pascal, and he just fought
Mm-hmm.
a lot of top champions. Uh, and they weren't really big fights. A lot of the mainstream sort of media and even casual fans. There was a while in UK where the boxing kind of really slowed down, you know. And
Yeah,
unfortunately for Carl Froch, he was part of that era. And we had a star
yeah.
in David Haye. I mean, that guy was a rock star. That guy was a rock
Right.
star here. But Carl Froch kind of flew under the radar. He had a lot of tough fights for very little
It's
money.
funny you said it because he was getting beat to death, man. David
Who?
Hayes used to get beat up.
Oh,
I
near
Nah,
the
never,
he
end,
ain't
bro.
used to
Yeah,
get beat up. He lost what, 2-3 fights?
yeah, beat up.
Nah, I mean, he fought when he shouldn't have been fighting that last time he
yeah,
got
at the end of
stopped.
his career. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he was a
He was,
bodybuilder, man. I don't think he was a boxer. I think he was a bodybuilder, man. Posing
he
as a
whooped
I
boxer.
think
that
the
big
UK.
7-foot Russian boy.
Huh?
I
He
think
whooped that
when Joshua
7-foot Russian boy.
he
Say
knocked
it
out
again.
Chisora as well.
Say it one more time. He
Go
knocked
ahead.
out who?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Derek Chisora. I think David Haye was a good fighter at
Yeah, he
cruiserweight.
did. That was
Heavyweight,
a
his
good
career
fight.
kind of slowed down a bit, but he beat up some. He beat up the Russian giant. He beat up
Yeah,
Chisora.
Nikolai Valuev.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know,
I think when Anthony Joshua,
Yo, real
when
quick,
Anthony Joshua came,
that fight with him and Chisora when they rumbled in the press conference.
Yeah.
That made me start liking David Haye because David Haye pieced him up with the bottle in his hand.
Oh, bro, he
He
beat up
didn't
his squad
even
as well.
drop
didn't
his
he?
beer. He just pieced Chisora up. He pieced him up, and then he went to the fight and stopped him.
Yeah.
Like I think I bought that fight back in the day because it wasn't. I don't think they aired it over here. I can't remember, but I think I ended up paying for that fight because I had to see that after what David Haye did, and I was like, "Yo, I don't care who
David
he
Haye was
loses
a
to.
gangster,
I
bro.
like
You know what
this
he did?
guy. He
You know what
talks
he
his
did? He
way into
beat up
fights.
Chisora.
It is what it is.
Bro, he knocked out Chisora, and then he knocked out Chisora's trainer, and then he knocked out one of the security guys. David Haye was an absolute.
Yeah, he was a savage
Hey,
that night.
he was great. I'm not taking nothing away. He was great for the sport, the way he would talk, the way he was. But you know one of my favorite guys that we don't talk about in boxing. This is way off. I'm sorry, prize fighter. I'm way off topic. But do y'all remember my man Shannon the Cannon Briggs, man?
Definitely.
Let's go, champ. Let's
I'll
go, champ.
I'll never forget my man pulling up on Klitschko.
At the
And
restaurant.
he was eating. Yeah, he was eating.
Let me get your salad, champ.
Bro,
I'll eat like you, champ. I eat what you eat, champ. Yo, Shannon was in his bag, and Klitschko would have killed him. Like,
bro, do you remember when Klitschko was skiing like on the water, and then Shannon came by with a boat and knocked him off into the water? And
I remember that. He came by
Klitschko
with
was like,
the
"You asshole, Shannon!"
yo, Shannon Briggs was like, "Yo, make the waves, and then he was like, "Yo, Shannon and Cannon was looking for a payday to save his life, but shout out to Shannon and Cannon. Like he was entertaining his that dude is he was when he was trolling Klitschko was some of the funnest times in boxing back then because the heavyweights was kind of
it is now a wasteland.
Basically that Klitschko era, it wasn't the best. I don't want to see that with heavyweights. I can watch welterweights box all day. I can watch lightweights. I can watch middleweights. I can watch Bernard Hopkins at light heavyweight box. But when I go heavyweights, I want to see Rock'em Sock'em. I want to see what you want to what you love, BVO. I want to see that in heavyweights. I don't want to see boxing in heavyweights. I don't.
My man said,
sorry, go.
No, I was just reading the comment. He said, my man Undercard said, Shannon gave good fight breakdowns.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He just got a great voice. I mean, I'm gonna let you finish, but I'll say this before you go, Jimmy. Shannon the Cannon, it just sucks that he don't get me wrong, he was a 2-time heavyweight champion, but he just really wasn't good enough to match his mouth.
Nah.
If Deontay Wilder had that kind of mouth that Shannon the Cannon had, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If Tyson Fury had the kind of mouth that Shannon Cannon had,
that's debatable.
I don't know, cause Tyson Fury just say like stupid stuff that's not gonna happen.
But Tyson Fury be saying stuff that be having me rolling though, like when he was like, "You little gap-toothed midget, you want to fight?" You know what I mean? That had me rolling.
See when Shannon Briggs talks, I'm always whenever Shannon Briggs talks or goes on his rants, I'm always entertained. I find it funny. But Tyson Fury, bro, I've got to be honest. I feel like it's getting a little bit old though because I feel like he should be fighting guys like Usyk, Joe Joyce. So this is what I'm kind of a little bit tired of Fury a little bit, to be honest. And I like him.
He shouldn't be fighting nobody but Usyk. I don't want to hear about Joe Joyce. He shouldn't be fighting nobody. That man. I like Usyk. Usyk is a dog. For Usyk to take 70-30, because Tyson Fury, what was it, 60-40 first? Tyson Fury, no, we got to fight for 70-30. And then when Usyk was like, all right, let's get in there and rumble. And then I went 50-50 in the rematch. You get a shot at not get a shot at me belts. And then, so Tyson Fury, Usyk got him looking crazy out here right now. Usyk.
Bro, do you know what it is? Like, this is what I hate to say. Like Fury, right? He fought Chisora, a fight no one wanted. That guy made like $25 million or plus, right?
Yeah.
So
he's paying his boy though. They boys.
Yeah. So he's in a position where he feels like, if I fight Usyk and lose to him, okay, I might get paid, I don't know, 40 million, but I could go fight 2 bombs and make 50 million,
Yeah.
So I feel like he's
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's funny y'all say that. I gotta bring this up because we way off our topics, but I gotta bring this up, man. Do y'all see that KSI is ducking Salt Poppy? Y'all see that? Even the UK, even the YouTubers are ducking each other, man. So it's
I don't keep up with them boys, man. Them boys, I can't take that serious. What they doing with that KSI? Like he whooped on 2 bulls in one night. When I saw that, I'm like, I'm done. I can't.
Hey, you know, he did 1 million pay-per-views, bro.
Man, that's crazy. That's
Huh?
so crazy.
Yeah, bro. He's trying to fight. I think who's that guy? Jake Paul. He's trying to
And
fight
Jake Paul would knock him out.
Bro, I'm telling you, if that fight happens, bro, globally, UK, America combined, that shit might do 3 million pay-per-views, bro.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Easy.
Yeah.
My man said Fury versus Dillian White. No, Dillian White really need to just retire. He's not good
They
enough.
fought already though. Undercard Fury versus Dillian White. They fought.
Yeah,
already.
they did.
And Fury did him a favor because they cool. So Fury's like, look, I'm gonna help you get the payday, your last big payday, and feed your family.
Sure.
And he did that favor for Derek Chisora, and it was. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't want to see that. I watched highlights of that one.
Hey, only on BBO Boxing will you get a boy from Philly with a UK trying to do a UK accent.
You want to fight? Like Eddie Hearn cracked me up with that.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm sorry that this man is butchering y'all's accent.
You gonna fight?
Salute to my man. Salute to my man. Other card. He said he calling out Joshua. Hey, you know what? I'll be honest with you, man. Joshua need to stay away from Tyson Fury because all he do is end up on the highlight reel. Because he looked better, but I'll be honest, Joshua hasn't looked like Joshua since Andy Ruiz put him on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been that same confident. I remember when he fought what was the guy's name? Charles Martin. And that Anthony Joshua was so confident. Great looking kid, great for boxing, strong fighter. And you know what? He let Eddie Hearn deny him of opportunity at greatness. And Eddie Hearn will always have to live with the fact that he made his best fighter miss his opportunity to make probably $100 million easy.
With Deontay
Wilder.
I
disagree. See, I disagree, bro, because didn't Deontay Wilder come on Twitter and say he turned down more money for Joshua for Fury instead? So I feel
what he said was he was talking about they had a DAZN deal, and the DAZN deal basically said that it wouldn't guarantee him Joshua, but it had him fighting Dillian White, so he turned it down. Which I can't be mad at, and I'll be honest with you, man. And please don't think I'm part of no crazy thing, but I've never ever seen a guy like Deontay Wilder. This brother wanted to fight everybody.
Yeah.
He said he told my man Fury, he said, man, I'll come to your backyard, my man, and fight you. So I mean, let's not play like he wasn't about to go to Russia to what was the guy? The guy from Russia, I can't make up his name, man. The one that got knocked out by Dillian White.
Yeah. But he knocked Dillian out too, though. With a brutal uppercut.
They both knocked each other out. But
Alexander Povetkin.
Povetkin. So he went up to go fight. He went out there to fight Povetkin, and Povetkin popped dirty
twice.
I mean, when nobody wanted to touch Luis King Ortiz, man, I seen him really go in there and do that, man. He really did.
Yeah.
He said Wilder wanted to fight everybody. Oh, he said that's cat. Yeah, all right.
I disagree, bro. Can I be honest though? And he was a good fighter, but I mean, look, I remember Deontay Wilder's trainer coming out and saying they didn't want Klitschko when Klitschko was the champion. He turned down several career-high paydays to fight Joshua. This is a guy that was fighting, Eric Molina in ballrooms in front of 2,000 people. Joshua was offering like what, $20 million to come to the UK, or 15, or like I don't know, bro. I feel like.
Well, okay, so what about Joshua was like, well, you give me $50 million, I'll take the fight tomorrow. And then when they came up with $50 million the next day, he didn't want to fight all of a sudden. Eddie Hearn said, no, we're going to fight this guy. Come on, bro.
Hey, we got to stop covering. We got to stop covering them UK fighters, man. Because my man Prize fought.
Like, he didn't want to fight the fight. Like,
he
said,
if
you give me $50 million, I'll fight tomorrow. When they came up with $50 million, they want to know where the $50 million coming from and all this goofy stuff. Come on, man.
Well, they said
we know Joshua ducked the Wilder fight. We all know.
Nah, bro. Wilder ducked. This guy came out on Twitter and said, "I'm the reason the fight."
Jimmy, no, man.
Bro, he said it on Twitter.
He didn't duck.
Okay, I don't want to hear that. I'm not gonna do that.
What did he say? Wilder, the best heavyweight of his generation. No, he's not. Tyson Fury, the dirtbag, is the best of his generation by far, hands down.
Look, I think Joshua Wilder. I think that's still a huge money fight. I think it might be bigger financially than Usyk Fury, bro. I think that'll do what.
I'll be honest with you. Even if we got that fight, man, I don't think it'd be even worth watching. I'll be honest. I don't. Because let's be honest here, man. And me and Prize fought. There's no secret that we Wilder fans, but Wilder doesn't look the same. He looked horrible against Hellenius, and I would hate for him to get in there and fight. Joshua, and Joshua looks horrible because all he gonna do is get in there. He gonna catch, and Wilder's gonna catch Joshua. Joshua's gonna go to bed. That's gonna be that.
It's gonna be bad. Wilder ain't. What did you say before? You said that. You said that Wilder. What did you just say, BVO?
I said that Wilder. All he'll do is go in there and knock Joshua out.
Before that.
He looked horrible versus Hellenius. That's what he said.
How can you say he looked horrible against the and the fight was like a minute and a half? When he that long?
Horrible is too strong a word. Horrible is too strong a word. And when I say horrible, I gotta clear that up. Not the fight itself, but just like he was so excited to beat like a sparring partner. It was like when you get excited about beating. I mean, he was crying. He had his
He had a highlight reel knockout. He had another viral knockout.
He's been doing that. He's been doing that for years, bro.
He had it, bro.
But that was his brother. That was someone he had shared the ring with.
Knockout.
Right. He damaged Hellenius.
That was his first win, I think, in 3 years. Wasn't that wild? I think that's why he was emotional because that was the first fight he won in 3 years.
Nah, he won when he knocked Fury down in the first fight, but
not knocked him down, knocked him out.
No, I'm talking about.
We ain't gonna talk about that. No, we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna keep it current boxing. What do you got? Which card do you guys like most this week? DAZN, Showtime, Top Rank. What are you guys feeling?
No, you're not gonna list the fights though, bro, because I know DAZN's gonna come. But I don't know about you.
We gonna. I know me and Prize Fighter. We're gonna cover that Sugar Shakur fight, but
yeah, definitely.
I'm not excited.
Right.
Yeah, I'm more interested in Shakur Stevenson. To answer your question, big bro, I'm looking forward. I want to see Shakur fight more than any. I don't even know. I know DAZN got a card. I think PBC got a card. But I believe they got a card this weekend too, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not interested in none of them. But Shakur Stevenson, I just want to see him go in there and do his thing and brutalize him, get a nice little check for his family, and wait these other contenders to fight. Tank, Devin,
no.
Tank and Ryan, and
on the DAZN card. So you guys are missing it. There's a gem. There's a gem on the DAZN card. You know MJ, the other unified champion at 122.
Yeah.
He's fighting against someone decent. So depending on how he looks, he could fight the winner of Inoue versus Fulton. So
yeah, I forgot about that fight. That's a good point, Jimmy. Yeah, I probably would check that out. But if it's on at the same time as Shakur, it won't get any play in my house. I do have DAZN, and I have ESPN Plus, and I have all that stuff. So, but I
like Shakur, and I think he's a very talented young man, potentially one of the top fighters in the sport in the next couple of years.
Right
I'll
now,
be honest, bro. He's fighting. I just felt like he should have fought someone better because if you look at guys like Devin and Tank, and they got these huge fights with Ryan and Lomachenko, and then you got Shakur who's fighting. I don't know who he is, bro.
Yeah,
he's fighting Yoshi from Mario, I think. Hey, look at your phone. Look at your phone, Prize Fighter. You got your phone in front of you.
Your BVO, bro. Do you think Shakur is the top dog at 35 in your opinion? So you call him Sugar Shakur, right? So
yeah, I would say Sugar Shakur is the most talented, but the top dog. We'll find out who the top dog is after Loma and the email champion fight, and after Tank and King Rod fight. We'll find out who's the best. And once the winner of both those fights, then that's probably who the best is, and that person should fight Sugar Shakur. Because to tell you the truth, Sugar Shakur is immensely talented. I've said this a bunch. He's a terrific fighter, one of my favorite fighters to watch. But at the end of the day, if he get in there with Tank, he can beat Tank.
Definitely.
He could beat Devin. But the thing is this: I'm just wondering if Tank clips him, it's over. And the whole thing with Devin, I think Devin is too big for him. It's just I don't know. I'm not really high on the 135.
Because you know why you're not? Because they can all beat each other, bro.
Yeah, they all
really
can beat
genuinely
each
can
other.
all beat each other, except for Ryan.
You,
Disclude
wanna
Oh, here
Ryan
you
from
go.
the bunch.
Here you go. Here you go
Disclude Ryan
again.
from the bunch.
Lying to the people, man.
Tank, Devin, Shakur, they can beat each other, bro. For sure.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest? Like, I know a lot of people rate Tank Davis, but when I look at Devin Haney, I see a man that has unified the lightweight titles, that's fought the top guy, unified champion, Kambosos, undefeated. Now he's fighting the future Hall of Famer in Lomachenko. I see a Shakur.
A future
He
Hall
fought
of
the top
Famer.
guys in Oscar. Lomachenko, bro. I think he'll probably go in the Hall of Fame.
Based off of what?
No,
got
but I'm just
beat
trying
by
to let me
Journeyman.
my point, bro. I'd say Teofimo was an undefeated champion, but let me just make my point. That's why I'm circling back to Tank, right?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
But let's see Shakur. He beat his top dude in Oscar Valdez. Big unification. You know, he became the top dog. When I look at Tank, bro, like he's been in 3 divisions, 130, 35, and 40. He's never fought the top dog in any division, and a lot of the belts he's winning aren't real. So I feel like with Tank, he's still got more work to do.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. I feel like Gervonta, got some work to do, but Devin Haney did what he was supposed to do. He beat the man. I know BVO like to call him the email champ or whatever, but I feel like he, did what he had to do, especially with taking that top rank deal. We all hated that. Like all the Devin Haney fans, because I'm a fan of Devin Haney. Everybody's like, he's crazy. He's suicide to go to, Australia, and he had to do it 2 times, and he went over there and made it look easy.
This is why I became a fan, bro. This is why I became a fan of his, because I'll be honest, with Devin Haney, I've never been a big fan because of his. I'm just not a fan of that style, bro. You know, the defensive style.
Okay, it's
That's
all
just
good.
Yeah, it's never been appealing to me. But look, man, I'm a fan of the guy now on a personal level because you know what? He showed the heart of a champion. You went out there, you took a shitty deal, you beat the shit out of the dude that was ranked number 1. That was a consensus. He was the number 1 dude. He had all the belts.
Yep.
He just beat a pound for pound dude in Teofimo. And heading into that fight, a lot of people thought it was 50-50. Because I remember going on the panels and a lot of people were picking Kambosos. They thought the guy, he's on a big momentum. It's on Australia, and Devin was too young. So I give him full credit for that. Now he's fighting Lomachenko, a guy that is number 1 in the WBC, WBO, former unified champion. And a lot of people think, he was pound for pound number 3 in the world, I think, a couple of years ago. So
some people had him number high as number 1. And like, I don't know where people get Lomachenko into the Hall of Fame. I don't know off of what. He lost to a journeyman and he lost to a prospect. So I can't put him in the Hall of Fame based off of what.
I think it's because he's a 3 division unified champion. If you look at his fights,
if you want to do it that way, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but
so I was at 18. How many fights did Lomachenko had? I think he's at 18, and 15 of those were world title fights. I mean, that is,
Yeah, he lost to Salido.
Yeah, he did, bro. But most guys in the Hall of Fame have lost a lot of fights as well.
Definitely, but earlier in their career, they didn't lose to no prospect, and they damn sure ain't lose to no journeyman, which prospect was Teofimo and a journeyman in Orlando Salido. So, everybody wants to put him in the Hall of Fame based off of his amateur record, which was fantastic, but again, he's 20-something years old, beating up on teenagers at one point, because when did he turn pro? At like 24, 25? So what was he doing, when he was 23? You know what I mean?
Well, the reason why Eastern Europeans turn pro late is because the Soviet Union originally, it was illegal to turn pro. So they just relied on the amateur system. And a lot of the guys he was beating up on were the same age as him. They were guys from the, Eastern Sphere. I disagree, bro. I think Nicholas Walters, for me, bro, I thought the Axeman was going to beat Lomachenko, bro. I was a massive fan of Nicholas Walters. What he did to Gary Russell, the way he humiliated Rigondeaux. He jumped up and weight and fought a lot of good guys like Linares. At that time, he was number 1. He fought Rocky Martinez, a guy that beat the shit out of Salido, the same Salido he lost to, right? But Teofimo, I wouldn't say he was a prospect, though, because he just knocked out Richard Comey, right, for the belt.
Yeah, but that don't make you that man, though.
No, you're right, bro. That was a bad loss.
It was.
The Teofimo fight was bad, yeah. That was a bad loss.
That was bad, bro. That was terrible. Like, what you saying, I agree. I thought the Axeman was going to go in there and just punish him. He quit. Rigondeaux, I thought Rigo could outbox him, but I believe that it was a 50-50 fight at the time. But Rigo come up in that weight. What did he come up? 1 or 2 divisions? To come up there.
Well,
He
yeah, I
came
think
up a
came up
division.
with-
He came up in weight, and he jumped up. He
yeah,
jumped out the window, and it didn't go good for him. So I give Lomachenko full credit for beating Gary Russell. I give him full credit for the Rigo win, and the Axeman. He was cool. He was doing his thing back in the day, but he never was like really a star. He never really was like, only us hardcore fans know about Nicholas Walters. So I give him credit for those 3 wins. Other than that, that doesn't put you in the Hall of Fame. Real quick, that don't put you in the Hall of Fame because you beat Gary Russell, Nicholas Walters, and Rigondeaux. That don't put you in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Do you know what it is, bro? It's probably because of the 2. He's won, I think, in his whole career. If you count the Olympics, the World Championships, the European Games, he's won about 10 gold medals, and then he's also won about 10 world titles in 7 world titles in 3 different divisions. Been unified, made 15 world title fights, and he's fought a lot of good guys, man.
He fought some guys.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's like a first ballot. Like, I wouldn't put his resume anywhere near as good as someone like a Canelo Alvarez, or someone like
Jermell Charlo. Yeah.
Jermell Charlo.
Go pull his box rec up. Pull it up. Jermell Charlo got one of the best resumes in boxing.
But which one are you talking about? 160 or
154? Jermell is the undisputed. Maul is the one that don't fight.
Okay, yeah. He's got some good wins. I mean, Tony Harrison, Castano. Yeah, those are good wins.
He got some real good wins.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a little blank, but shout out BVO said Devin is the email champ. Like, come on, man. Hey, you get it how you get it. If people don't want to fight, then email me my belt. Then drop it and run away. That's what your man did.
The reason why I don't call him email champion is because when he beat Kambosos, he beat him for every belt. So
exactly, he beat the man who beat the man.
Yep.
Teofimo was the man, and he went out there trying to knock Kambosos' head off, and he got beat up. So.
Yep.
I give him full credit for beating the man who beating the man. You're gonna have people that's like, well, he didn't win why did he get emailed the belt? He got emailed the belt because Lomachenko ran away. He didn't want to fight. He got to franchise me. You know what I mean?
The reason why I disagree. I should tell you the reason why I disagree, bro, because I feel like the person to blame for this is the WBC.
Definitely.
Lomachenko had back-to-back unifications. He beat Luke Campbell, unified the WBC, and then he was about to fight Teofimo to unify all the belts. There was no reason to create a franchise, bro, because you didn't need to, swerve your mandatory because the unification would have overruled the mandatory, right? The reason why they made the belt is because Mauricio Sulaiman is a greedy piece of shit.
Yes.
He wants a lot of sanctioning fees. So, I mean, it's just one of them, bro.
But Mauricio, in an interview, I believe he said they requested the franchise belt in order to duck Devin Haney so he can say, well, I'm the WBC champion, full-time champion when I'm ready to be. As long as I don't got to fight this guy. I want to fight who I want to fight. You know what I mean? And that's why he got the belt, bro. We all know. Well, let's be honest. We all know why and how Devin got the green belt because Loma ducked the fight. Now Devin got all the belts. Loma thinking, well, if I beat him, I'm the man now. Like they're gonna market him real good. He be undisputed. It look good.
Bro, can I be honest? At this stage, 3 years later, I just don't know if, say 3 years ago, if they fought a young Devin Haney who was green and a Lomachenko at 33 who was kind of knocking everyone out at that time on a really good undefeated run,
Yeah.
Compared to Lomachenko now, who is 35 and looked a little bad in his last fight. I just why fight him now?
Because you just said he was. Everybody puts him as the best ever. Bob Arum compared him to Muhammad Ali. They say this when Floyd was 35 and 36, he was whooping people still. so Lomachenko's supposed to be greater than Ali. Then at 35 and 36, he should be able to whoop somebody green like Devin Haney. Because when Floyd got in the ring, when he was 35, 36 against a young Canelo, what did he do? Canelo barely won one round to me, and they still found out how to manipulate the cards. But nevertheless, so I'm giving Devin Haney full credit. I don't want to hear about people saying, "Oh, Loma's too old," and da-da-da. It's funny because just a couple weeks ago, Loma was in the pound for pound. Now he's been in the pound for pound for the whole time. And while he was doing his thing at the war, whatever he was doing over there, he was in pound for pound. When he got signed to fight Devin Haney, all of a sudden he's not in the pound for pound rankings no more. So they already making up excuses because they know it's about to happen. So I'm giving Devin Haney I'm on the record and I'm standing on what I say. I'm giving Devin Haney full credit when he go out there and whoop this dude, get him out of here, because he never was that great to me. He had a great amateur career and he had a decent pro career. But come time when they fight, what is it, May 20? Devin Haney's going to get this guy out of here, and we never got to hear about this overrated guy ever again. And I can't wait.
You know what it is for me, bro? I feel like right now Lomachenko is probably the most no, he has to be. He's the most accomplished man in the division. He's a 3-belt unified champion, right? Double gold medalist. No one else comes close to that.
Mm-hmm. I will give you that. I will say Lomachenko is the most accomplished in the division, but what I will say is this: he ain't the best. I never thought he was, and I just think that everybody was a little excited for him, but he still came into going back to that Salido fight. He was looked very amateurish. Even in the Gary Russell fight was questionable. Okay, we give it to Loma. I don't have a problem with that. It was a close fight, and I just think that their boxing is moving funny because they want to try to discredit Devin Haney because of his style. It doesn't sell, it doesn't turn over the pay-per-views and ticket sales like it should, or it should. Because back in the day in the 80s and 90s, Undisputed Champ, you're gonna sell out. But now they're trying to take him out, and I don't agree with it. I'm giving him full credit.
100%, bro. 100%. I give him full credit as well because for me, Lomachenko was the number one in the WBC and WBO. And for my money, I mean, I've seen the interviews of Tank Davis, and he said a lot of things he really shouldn't have said about Lomachenko, why a lot of fans think he was scared of Lomachenko for many years. He came out straight front and said, look, I don't want to fight him. And yet Lennon Ellerby saying Tank isn't ready. So I think a lot of fans do think Tank Davis was scared of Vasyl Lomachenko, because I remember Lomachenko taunting Tank on Twitter, saying, stop hiding behind skirts, let's rumble. And when they brought that up to Tank, Tank's response was, I don't want to fight Lomachenko. So, I mean,
I can remember some stuff going on with Tank and Loma. I think it was more so Mayweather having a pissing contest with Bob Arum. But I remember that was going on, and, maybe he wouldn't have. We don't know. That fight didn't happen back then. We got to do what we got to deal with right now. Let me see. BVL said Loma is pound for pound. No, he's not. Well, yeah, matter of fact, yes, he is. Ryan will beat everyone at. Let me read these comments real quick, Jimmy. Ryan will beat everyone at 135 and challenge Shakur. That's cap. Loma and Ryan are both boring. Yeah, I could agree with that. Tank ducked Loma. I ain't mad. I'm not gonna say he ducked him. Again, I don't think that Tank was in control then, and Floyd was like, no, but whatever you want to call it a duck, whatever. I ain't gonna argue that. But the fight didn't happen. We got to deal with the fight that's gonna happen. And May 20th, Devin Haney is gonna get Lomachenko out of boxing, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think Devin deserves more credit and more hype for fighting Lomachenko than Tank does for fighting Ryan, because at the end of the day, you got one fight, right, where you've got the undisputed lightweight championship, you've got pound for pound legacy on the line, future Hall of Fame status for both men. Whoever wins this fight will most likely go to the Hall of Fame. So, and then you've got the hardcore fans, and the purity of the sport, right? Number one versus number two in the division, right? And then on the other side, you've got guys like Tank and Ryan, which are young guys, good fight, but that's a bunch of Instagram and TikTok and fanboys, and you know what I mean? Like,
agreed.
Now
let me ask you a question, Jimmy.
Yeah.
What does it do for Devin Haney to get a Lomachenko on his resume? What is that? Does that elevate him to the next level? Does
I think
that
so.
put him? What does it do for him?
It does a lot of things, bro, because I think Vasily Lomachenko, for the last several years, a lot of the mainstream media, most of the sports fans, viewed him as one of the elite champions of all of boxing, right? Um, he had a lot of hype. He did a lot of great things, amateur and pro, and he's also incredibly accomplished. You know, if you look at the lightweight division, even now, he's still the most accomplished man. He's got the best accomplishments. So if Devin Haney beats him, it'd be the best win on his resume, I think.
All right, now let me ask you one more question. What does it do for Lomachenko if he wins the fight? What does that do for Loma? Does he want to get in there with a Shakur Stevenson? That might be possible, or passing of the torch that way if he somehow able to beat Devin Haney. But what does that do for Lomachenko? That would really make it hard to argue him not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. You know,
No, I think it does. It does a lot of things for Lomachenko. I think it rejuvenates his career a lot because over the last couple of years, bro, I'm gonna be honest, man. I think a lot of the Lomachenko hype has kind of died down because of the war, the inactivity, the loss to Teofimo. So a lot of that, his hype has kind of burnt down, which is normal, bro. When you lose a fight, but if he beats Devin Haney, especially if he like knocks him out, I think he'll rejuvenate his career. He'll become the undisputed champion.
Wow.
You know, everyone will put him top 5 pound for pound again. He just beat one of the best young champions in Devin Haney. In all of boxing, this is a young kid who's undefeated, who's got all the belts, coming off of 2 massive wins. He's younger, he's bigger, he's got all the momentum on his side as far as activity and the wins and stuff, and the undefeated record and the size and stuff. So I think for Lomachenko, this will be probably the best win of his career, bro, because it's not easy, bro. You know, taking out a younger, bigger, undefeated champion with all the belts. And yeah, man, I think he'll be top 5 pound for pound again. He'll be Hall of Fame. And a lot of the Lomachenko hype that's gone will come back. As far as beating Shakur, I have to be honest, bro. I think beating Shakur and Haney back to back, that is a big ask. That is a big ask.
Definitely. Well, I agree with you on that one. And BV, shout out to BVO in the chat. He said if Loma should fight Sugar Shakur next. I definitely think that Bob Arum will be looking at the chops at that. If somehow Lomachenko wins the fight, that we probably would get Lomachenko. You probably see him throw him in there, with a little, a stay busy fight. I'm talking about Lomachenko. He probably throw him in there in a stay busy fight before he feed him to Shakur because he know what's going to happen. But Jimmy, I gotta agree with you on that. That'll be tough. That's tough for any of the lightweights at this point. For me, like to go and beat Devin Haney, then you turn around and beat Shakur Stevenson. Like, yeah, that would be really that would be tough to do, man. It's just a uphill mountain that would be hard to climb, bro. For sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think. I actually think they're gonna fight next. I think if Lomachenko wins, Bob Arum's gonna try and make the Shakur fight because if you look at Top Rank, the kind of way they build in Shakur, you can kind of tell that this is one of their future superstars that they want to build. And with Lomachenko at 35, I mean, there's not really much you can do with him, bro, at this stage. You know, he's a 35-year-old Ukrainian.
Good point.
You've pretty much milked him for whatever he's worth, you know?
Yeah. Like I think that if Loma wins this fight, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Loma don't fight no more. If he did and they did feed him Shakur, it's gonna be bad and ugly. It's gonna be the passing of the torch. But then again, I can see Bob Arum not making that fight too, the way he protected Manny Pacquiao from Terrence. Because if he would have fed Pacquiao to Terrence, Terrence would have killed Pacquiao that night. But I'm excited for the Devin Haney and
I think with Bob Arum, do you know this, bro? Like, I don't really trust Bob Arum because if you look at Oscar De La Hoya when he was about to leave Bob, he robbed him. Same with Manny. Whenever his contract's about to get up, we'll get a funny decision against Bradley or Horn, right?
Yeah.
So I think with Bob Arum, that guy, if you are going to leave him, he wants to at least damage your market value, right? That's why he was talking so much shit about Bud Crawford, because Bud Crawford didn't lose in the ring. So what you do is you try and damage his market value by saying shit like, oh, he doesn't sell or this and that,
And I can build a house in the hills. What did he say? I was like, damn. And then Terrence Crawford fans got pissed at him because he was like, "Oh, well, that's just Bob being Bob." No, Terrence his fans, wanted him to get at Bob Arum. Then he had the lawsuit thing, which was ridiculous.
Do you know what it is, bro? Like when you got Bob Arum, who I'm not even like trying to make fun of him now, but this dude is damn near 100 years old. He's probably wearing diapers. Like,
Nah, that's not an excuse. 35 years old, because he got compared to Muhammad Ali, and I'm gonna read the comments in a second, real quick, Jimmy. But he got compared to Muhammad Ali. So at 35 years old, I don't want to hear, "Oh, he was too old."
Bob Arum. No, Bob Arum. I'm saying with Bob Arum, like the reason why I wouldn't go back and forth with him, it's a bad look, bro. It's like arguing with your grandpa on stage, But the dude's 100 years old. He's literally wearing diapers.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, Bob Arum. So
he literally
that's why I said
is
the
almost
diapers
100. What is he? 97.
Yeah. Like, I mean, what are you really gonna imagine me? Like, imagine if I was in a supermarket, right, or a superstore. Like, I mean, is it a good look for me to argue with my grandfather who's probably wearing diapers, medicated?
Yeah. Let me read the comments real quick. Shout out BVO again. He said, Bub might stop Earl if he's not focused. I could agree with that, but it's going to be ugly for Earl if he ain't 100% focused, which I think he will be. So I don't think we got to worry about Earl Smith not being focused for that fight. And he said, shout out BVO again, said Loma and King Rye and Madison Square Garden for all the belts. I mean, that would be massive, but unfortunately, it's not going to be that because King, I'm not calling him a king because I don't know whether he's the king or queen. Oh, you know what? He's the king of Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, so yeah, but that would happen, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately, because both them guys are going to lose. Loma's going to lose to Devin, and Gervonta Tank Davis is going to shatter Ryan. I mean, it's just going to be ugly. I mean, what you think about that fight, Jimmy? Who you like? Who you like in that fight? You like Tank or Ryan? Okay, we lost Jimmy. Damn, I didn't even see that. But anyway, yeah, I don't care what BVO talking about. BVO, he can have his opinion, but he know deep down inside that Ryan got a puncher's chance, maybe, but he knows that Ryan Garcia is going to be shattered glass, and the Glazers union, shout out to all the union workers. Y'all know the Glazers got to come out there and clean up all that glass in the ring after Gervonta Tank Davis just brutalizes Ryan. I ain't saying he gonna go in there and whoop him every round. I think it'll take a little time for Tank to figure out. But if you look at Tank Davis's defense, is he doesn't get enough credit for it. He doesn't waste too many punches, and it's just gonna be bad for Ryan. Ryan hasn't fought nobody as experienced as Gervonta Tank Davis, and they want to say, well, Luke Campbell, he won this. They still want to go back to the amateurs, but he ain't beat nobody significant, in the professional. So, I just see Gervonta Tank Davis is going over here and destroying this dude with a brutalizing knockout, a highlight reel knockout. You know what I mean? And it's just going to get ugly for your boy, king of Twitter, Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, he's still doing the same thing. And when he get cracked one good time, before he gets knocked out, he going to go back to his instincts, pick your head up, swinging wild. You know what I mean? He going to go back to that, man. He ain't going to do what you think he going to do, go in there and catch Tank with a left hand. Don't you know Tank is ready for that left hand? They practicing for that left hand because that's all he got. Like he said, and Ryan is, if he beats Tank Davis, boxing is going to turn into a circus.
Your boy, king of Twitter, Ryan
it's going to turn into a circus.
Ryan Garcia,
bro, you don't believe that.
He's still doing the same thing. And when he get cracked one good time,
I don't know why.
You ain't got no mic. You ain't got no headphones.
No, I don't got no headphones.
I have headphones in my back. You gotta hook it up.
Somebody gotta. We got two video boxes up here. All right, but we back on like I was saying. I don't know what's going on. BVO might got some more audio issues, but we'll get it straight. But I think we did a good job today. I shout out Jimmy coming on here, cooking with us. You know what I mean, and shout out to everybody in the chat. The Lost Art of Boxing, of course, Undercard. Shout out to you. You know what I mean. I appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We're gonna get this thing going. So I'm gonna chill for a little bit to see what BVO might come back up on here. I'm trying to
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you back on.
Yeah, I'm back.
You got it's two. All right, I was just about to jump off here because it's like two of your icons up here. There we go. All right, bet. Yeah, but basically what I was saying, you heard what I was saying because I'm pretty sure you wasn't tuned in. You know what I mean? I don't see Ryan having a chance, and I told you before you got to call the Glazers union to come in and pick up all that shattered glass in the ring come time when they fight April 22nd. Matter of fact, man, I can't wait for that fight. I'm gonna be out of town. It's gonna be amazing.
You said all that shattered glass. What are you talking about, man? You know you don't believe nothing you saying, bro.
I just can't see how Ryan can beat him. He hasn't fought nobody seasoned. Like he ain't fought nobody. He don't got enough experience for Tank Davis, man. That's what it'll come down to. And yeah, Ryan can crack a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, but he can't go in there in a 12-round championship fight. Never fought on pay-per-view. Never fought under the big lights. Never been anywhere close to the level of Gervonta Davis. And that's going to all show up in the ring on April 22nd. It's going to show up, and he's going to look like a novice in there. He's going to make it a little tough in the beginning, but when them rounds start going by, you're going to see Gervonta from like 8 to 12 to start punishing Ryan. Watch.
Hey, but you know one thing I wanted. What's our next topic, man? I know I missed a little bit. What's our next topic?
Well, we ran through all the topics. Me and Jimmy was just cooking on a Devin Haney, and shout out to Jimmy. I don't know, he must have jumped off, but shout out to him for jumping on, giving a UK perspective. But we was basically talking about, we had a good little thing going saying, what does it do for Devin Haney to beat a Lomachenko, and what does it do for a Lomachenko to beat a Devin Haney? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll answer that question, man. I'll answer that question. If you get Devin Haney, who was a 2-time email champion, as we all know, they emailed him the belts, which I never heard of. I guess they went and put the belts on the copier and emailed it to him. But all jokes aside, if this happens, you got to say this kid is probably one of the best lightweights to ever fight. Lomachenko, I mean, is the same guy who really was unifying all the belts. He lost to a prospect, and he lost to a really, really crafty journeyman in Salido. I mean, I know Salido wasn't a great fighter, but Salido was very, very crafty. And unfortunately, to be honest with you, Loma really is just a victim of his circumstances. He really made the best of what was possible for him because he went in there, fought him. He kept getting low blow. He didn't know how to respond. He was looking for the referee to handle it, but that's not how it works in professional boxing. The referee doesn't handle it. You got to handle it yourself in the ring. Like Mike Tyson famously said, I did handle it in the ring. So I'll say that'd be great for Devin. It'll by far make him the best fighter at the lightweight division. But then again, for Loma, if Loma can win this fight, man, this will just solidify this kid's legacy as one of the best to do it. And this, unfortunately, which I thought was a high praise, it might be true. He might be the Muhammad Ali of the lightweights because the guy came up from 126 went to 130, and now he's at 135. And I mean, and honestly, we all know him at 135. He looks very, very small. I mean, he struggled against Jermaine Ortiz, but me and you both know, prize fighter, Jermaine Ortiz was a sparring partner. So who knows you better than your sparring partner? But either way it goes, it's a big win for both guys. But I'll tell you this, man. I would just say that if Loma, I'm picking Loma for that fight. But if Loma was to win, like I said, this is solidify Loma as, one of the best to ever do it. I mean, he's not an Aaron Pryor or nothing like that, but this will solidify him as one of the best to do it. But I'll ask you a deeper question on that. What do you think of Loma, prize fighter? Because I never hear you really ever talk about him. You know, what do you think about Loma as a fighter?
I think that Lomachenko is I think he's very, very skilled. He can move. His angles are crazy. I give him that. But like Lomachenko, they came in moving him fast tracked him. You know, he lost to somebody that had how many losses Salido had? 12?
Like 7.
No.
Well, probably about 12. You might be right.
No. Like
how many did he have on the card? You know, how many did he
bro.
have on the card?
Probably 12.
Right.
Salido, the journeyman.
Right. So he lost to the journeyman, you know, and that was a bad loss for him. He started off his career 1-1. I rooted for him in the fight. I wanted to see him win. I like when I see somebody, because I was just excited that somebody was 1-0 fighting for a world title. I thought that was dope at the time. You know what I mean?
Surprised you broke up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you back.
Yeah, I just said I was rooting for Lomachenko in the Salido fight. I thought it was dope that somebody 1-0 fighting for a world title, and you know, and he looked like an amateur. You know, he picked it back up against Gary Russell. That was a good win. I give him full credit. But you know, as far as what I think about him as a fighter, I think he's decent. I think he's a B fighter, maybe a B minus. But
they didn't count that knockdown in the Gary Russell fight.
Yeah, you know, I don't think that he's some kind of Bob Arum compared that man to Muhammad Ali based off of what? Off of an amateur pedigree? Like, let's be serious right now. So, you know, that from when Bob Arum did that, I started to hate him, you know, and he's definitely a good fighter, and that would be a huge win for Devin Haney, because I don't want to hear all this all of a sudden. Now he's old overnight now, all of a sudden. But if he wasn't fighting Devin Haney, he'd still be in the pound for pound. He'd been in the pound for pound. I'm going to say it again. He'd been in the pound for pound the whole time until that Devin Haney fight was signed. Now they want to make excuses. Oh, he looks like heavyweight and all of this stuff. No, man. Go back to what you was doing then if you don't want to fight the fight. And he signed up for it, and he's going to pay for it.
I agree. Can I get my 2 cents?
For sure.
Who you think?
Lomachenko, Triple G. A product of them trying to push a European style fighter in our face and tell us that this is exactly what greatness looks like. This is how you're supposed to do certain things. And every time they get put to a big test, like I think people actually thought he was going to beat Teo. Not a lot of people picked Teo to win that fight. People thought Teo was too green. But to have him with his hands in his pocket for like 10 rounds, not throwing punches, how elite were you? You know, I'm excited that he's continued to test himself. He keeps on fighting, keeps on putting himself in the mix. So it's not like he lost and kind of went away like some fighters do. He actually got back in the ring and tried his best to show why, you know, he had these praises. But Loma is overhyped to me, and more and more we see it. That's why Triple G had those 2 belts, threw them away, and ducked all the smoke. Lara, some other dude, like literally had 2 belts and threw them right away. Like, nah, I'm good. And don't tell me about money and legacy. Why were you looking for that? You already got money from fighting Canelo 3 times. You should be well off all the pay-per-view buys you guys did, your sparring partner. But you could tell that once the kitchen got hot, he ducked out right out the back door. Like, all right, I'm good.
Facts.
You know what I say about that undercard, and I say this to you, prize fighter as well. It's a travesty that you guys don't give people their credit, bro. It's an absolute travesty.
Bro, they try to compare Triple G to Marvin Hagler.
Right.
That's where I gotta be like,
crazy.
What? He's as great as who?
I was done with that one. When they did that, I was out. I tapped out. I'm like, man, get him out of here, man. Get him out of here.
Yeah,
Marvin Hagler
can I ask you a question?
Destroyed this dude, man.
Did y'all see when Marvin Hagler got hit everywhere except from the bottom of his feet by Sugar Ray Leonard? Sugar Ray Leonard beat him to death. And
it was a good fight.
So listen. let's not act like Marvin Hagler was just this unbeatable dude. I seen Sugar Ray Leonard after being out the ring for like 2 years come in there and dust this kid off. Like, so I mean, maybe we're romanticizing the past a little bit on this one, man, because I'm not saying he's not great, but the only thing I hold against Triple G is this. Triple G, when he had a chance to fight, I don't know if you guys remember around 2002, 2003, when Andre Ward was in that same division. Andre Ward wanted to fight him. And all the so-called, I don't want to bring it up, this is not one of those channels that's looking to race bait, but all the other fans said, leave our man alone, fight somebody else. And then he went up there and fought Sergey Kovalev and beat him. But let's be honest here. Triple G beat Canelo to death that first fight. And you could possibly say he beat him twice.
No, he definitely didn't.
But
BBO beat to death. Price fight, a close fight. Like, where's the middle? Go ahead, BBO. My fault. Go ahead. Keep cooking.
Nah, you good.
But this is the thing about it. That's the thing about it. Is he as good as a Marvin Hagler? Of course not.
Not close.
He said Golovkin was good in a mediocre era, but you know what? I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna tell you why I can't say that. My man Penn, I can't say that because Michael Jordan was dominant in a mediocre era, and people give Jordan full credit. I mean, so at the end of the day,
80s and 90s. 80s and 90s. Sorry.
90s. Let's be honest.
80s and 90s.
80s, he went home. In the 80s, he went home first round every year.
He went home.
He didn't win in the 80s, but that doesn't mean he wasn't dominant.
He was definitely dominant, but he didn't win.
He didn't have team success. But that's a whole different sport. Okay. But this is what I'm saying. Golovkin is a little bit overrated. Miguel Cotto is a little bit overrated. I mean, it's a lot of guys that's a little overrated. Timothy Bradley is a little overrated. I mean, there's not many guys that you can't say are overrated. So I mean, like I said, people romanticize the past. People always want to say, "Oh, back in my day, this happened. Oh, back in my day, that happened." But the thing is this, and I'm gonna bring it all the way full circle: the fact that you got King Ryan, Gervonta Tank Davis getting in the ring, they both in their prime, and they about to get it on. And check this out: King Ryan said, "Hey, after I stop Tank, I want to go ahead and fight the 2-time email champion Devin Haney." And dude, you can't. What boxer is talking like that?
Yeah, I'm happy that Ryan's talking like that. I'm happy that he's talking like that. Is talking
like that. What David say? David know if he fought Canelo beat him like he stole something, but he don't care. He's so stupid. He like, I just want the best fight. See, I miss those boxers who are like I like Loma. What Loma said. I'm not a businessman. These guys are businessmen. I'm just a regular guy, and I'm telling you, man, going forward. I think it's going to be surprising. It's going to surprise a lot of people, but more fighters are going to be like these guys, man. The guys that you don't think is going to be considered the great ones, them dudes that's going to make them fights. I'm going to let you go after that. I'm going to let you go ahead and go, Press Fighter. But I had to get that off my chest, bro. Let's not take away as if this man didn't do everything he could to be great. You know what I mean?
He did everything, including duck Devin Haney.
How did he duck him when he's about to fight him again?
He ducked him because Lomachenko go pull up Mauricio, your boy Mauricio, go pull him up, and he'll say Lomachenko requested, or did he say Canelo? One of them requested it. I believe he said Lomachenko undercard. Did he say, was it Lomachenko? He said Lomachenko requested the franchise.
The franchise belt. It was Bob, but Bob he didn't disagree with it. Bob requested it for him.
Okay,
which
his team,
the promoter, yeah, correct. His team requested the franchise belt.
Requested the belt. They told Mauricio, "You better figure out because I don't want this fight. I don't care if he's number one. I don't care if he's a mandatory." Devin was pushing at a young age. He wanted to jump in there with Lomachenko years ago, and now all of a sudden, Lomachenko come running back because he needed a payday, and you know he got a chance to do it big in one fight without going through the gauntlet. You know what I mean? He can do it in one fight now. So I lost a lot of love for for Loma. I lost a lot of love for him when he ducked out, dropped the belt, and just ran.
But notice something also. Once he did that, Mauricio Sulaiman of the WBC decided that the franchise belt, which was supposed to be a designation not a championship. It was supposed to be like an award. He decided that award bestowed upon Loma was going to be now the official belt of the WBC, which is crazy.
Crazy. I can't agree with you more. And you got some comments, BVO. You wanna get them?
Shout out to people in the chat.
No, you
BVO
got
not
him.
up here. Oh.
No, you got him. Go ahead.
All right. Well, shout out to Antoinette Dudley said Ryan is a monster.
I believe you.
Shout out to Antoinette again saying Tank is shook about Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about that? I don't agree with none of that though, respectfully.
Tank is looking like in the best shape of his life. He looks like he's going to be he's not going in there to win. He's going in there to punish Ryan for as many rounds as Gene Jagusin allows the fight to happen. I'm telling you, this is going to be, guys, this is going to be like, I think I just seen it pop up too as the anniversary. It was like Murder in the Ring or something like that, where a guy got pounded for like 12, 13 rounds, came out the fight bloody. It might be something like that you guys witnessing April 22nd. Make sure you buy this pay-per-view. Do not stream it. Do not steal it. Support boxing. BVO, I'm looking at you.
I buy all the
I'm looking at you, BVO. I'm looking at you.
My friends be thinking I'm crazy buying these like random pay-per-views like when I bought Laura and Canelo back in the day. They thought I was tripping. They was like, man, if you don't, I got this. And I'm like, man, I don't do that, man. I don't do that.
That was an excellent fight, man.
It definitely was.
Laura won that fight.
He definitely did, and I felt like
here we go. He got beat to death, right? Right, BVO. He got beat to death.
It was a tight fight. It was a tight fight.
When did he lose? Could have went either way. I take that.
It could have went either way. And the only reason I say it could have went either way is because you got to think Laura had Canelo missing real bad, but Canelo was landing some shots.
He got some. Go ahead, BVO.
No. I just got to get on my man Prize Fighter for saying that, and I love Mel, but Mel does not have the best resume in boxing, bro.
I didn't say
that.
You got
to be drunk. I thought I heard you say that. My bad.
I said he has one of the best resumes in boxing. It's hard to go against Canelo. It's hard to go against Canelo resume because he's been doing it for so long. He's been fighting on Mayweather's undercard. They built him up on there. He's got the names on his resume. You can't take it away. You can question all his big wins all you want, but when you go look at his boxing, he got dubs by him. Dubs by him. Canelo has the best resume in boxing, but Mel is right there, bro. Who's next?
How much times Canelo lost? 2 or 3 times? Is it 3 or 2? Is it 2?
Twice.
Floyd and Big Mo?
It should be 4, but
I'm just keeping the asterisk to like what does it actually say? And Triple G lost twice, right? Both times to Canelo?
Yes.
Yeah, in a draw.
And that's it. And a draw.
Yeah, Canelo has 2 draws. But you know what? This is the thing about it, man. I'll be honest, man. Oh, we got a comment, Prize. If I'm let you get that comment block knocked out. My bad.
It's all good. Shout out Pennzoil. He says, or they say, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan won, but it's highly unlikely. Yeah, me neither. I agree with that. If Ryan won, I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. Like, all right, okay, let's go, Ryan. I'm gonna get behind him, and I want to see what he do next. If he beat the Tank, you know what I mean? If he beats Javante, bro, I'm riding. I'm over there. I'm like, yo, I gotta see what he gonna do next. Is he gonna come in here with Devin?
Because we're not gonna be down on boxing, right? We're not gonna be down on boxing if Ryan wins. Yeah,
right. I'm no hater. I'm not gonna get up here on BVO Nation and start hating on Ryan. I'm gonna be like, yo, Ryan just melted Tank Davis with a beautiful left hand. Tank never saw it. I'm gonna get up here on BVO Nation and I'm gonna say exactly what I saw. I don't believe that'll happen, but after May 23rd, if you want to run a live, I think we're gonna have to. Big as that fight is, I think we're gonna have to run something on Sunday. It'd be dope to make the fans wait for Monday. Either way, I'm cool, but I'm gonna get up here and say exactly what I saw. And if I see Ryan go in there and melt Tank, that's what we're gonna talk about. But until then, I don't see it happening.
And you said it perfect, Prize Fighter. When Ryan goes in there, he's going to melt Tank.
I mean, that's good.
Perfect.
I mean,
hey,
I like
you.
I love you. You're entitled to your opinion, bro. This is an opinionated sport. You can have your opinion
Right.
before the fights, bro. If you want to go in there and say that Ryan's going to destroy him for 10 rounds and knock him out, nobody can't. I mean, all it is an argument. We can talk about it all day long. You can stand. I like the way you standing on your pick. I'm standing on mine. Undercard standing on his, and we gonna get up here and cook. We gonna cook, man.
So undercard, you said you're going with Ryan too, right? Am I wrong about that? Or did you say you got
You're
Ryan
absolutely
too, right?
1,000% wrong about that. I'm going with Tay. I like that though. You trying to bring somebody over to the party with you, like come with me. Nah, I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid, brother. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. It's TTD Tank by a glorious ass whooping. Like, you know what? I don't want a knockout. I don't want Ryan to get out of this no mas. I don't want that. I keep saying he's gonna say no mas and quit. But nah, I want like the entire stadium to be like, would y'all stop this? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I want his mom to jump in and be like, this is, you know what, Ryan? We are very disappointed. I thought you liked boxing.
There you go, man.
It's going, bro.
But
Leave your kids at home. Leave the mothers. Do not bring no family to this fight. This is not. If you want to stay safe and have a good time, don't bring those people with you. Put them in a suite or something. If they ringside, because when they stand over in the camera and they look over at Ryan's family and you see his dad like
looking crazy over there.
Oh my son,
Yo,
my son.
shout out.
It's going to be the biggest meme, and it's going to set the internet on fire.
That's a fact. Shout out to Pennzoil in the comment section. The undercard isn't the best either. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I was expecting more with the Tank and Ryan undercard.
Yeah, so what happened? Well, so there's the paper. I think what they gave y'all, undercard and boxing here for all fight updates. What they put there was what's going to be part of the pay-per-view portion. Like which fights are going to be on pay-per-view that you pay for. That's what you got, like the David Morrell, Elijah Garcia. Those fights are going to be on the pay-per-view part. But there's going to be the non-televised portion of that's going to be the prelims shown on Showtime before you have to, they're going to have Lorenzo Truck Simpson, Mia Ellis, Jihad Tucker. So there's this is going to be a long fight card. This ain't going to be 4 fights and it's over. This is going to be start at 6, 7, and it's going to run till 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
no, it is. Because I already know who's on the undercard. Yeah. This is the part that they showed y'all was who you're paying for. Now, I think the David Morrell fight, a guy who has 8 fights, stepping up to fight a guy who has 26 fights with only 2 losses is a good fight for him. David Morrell has only beaten guys in the top 10 because he's a WBA interim champ. Everybody he's fought has been ranked in the WBA top 10 or higher because he's technically what we call a champion. Don't get at me, BVO. A champion, even though it's an interim, he can only fight guys in the WBA ranking that's high enough that when they approve the fight, he can actually fight for his interim belt. So that's the good step-up fight. Elijah Garcia, we saw what he did on the Brandon Figueroa card. He had a beautiful knockout versus a guy who had a lot more fights than him, a lot more experience. And, we have to pay attention to the guys in the developmental stage that's coming up so that way we could be aware and be like, okay. But I know what you guys are saying. You're raising the pay-per-view price, and what are we getting as a thing? But it's only $10, guys. If you want, I can cash app you, okay?
Nah,
I'm not rich, but I can cash app you.
Nah. And
shout
out to Antoinette again my bad. Shout out to Antoinette in the comments. She said, what do we think of Shakur fight? WTF is that? And then she goes back and say, did you hear what Devin said? He don't want to fight Shakur until 147. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And so the Mexican monster ducking boo-boo prize fighter. I don't know about that.
Oh, let me talk about Shakur real quick because I'm actually going to this fight. I will be in the building, undercard and boxing. Will be in Jersey Prudential Center to watch this fight. So, Yoshino wasn't the first choice, people. The first ordered fight was Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I'm gonna keep the history. Isaac Pitbull Cruz was the first ordered fight by the WBC as a title eliminator. He and Sean Gibbons turned down that fight. Then they went to the number 2 contender, which was William Zepeda, who just beat Jojo Diaz. He said, not yet. You're too, you know what I mean? Oscar, not William, turned down the fight. I want to keep, let's not call William a duck. William wanted to fight. Oscar said no. The third ranked person was George Kambosos. He come off a 2 loss to Haney. He said no. Then who was the next person? After Georgia was somebody else, but they said no. Then we got to Yoshino, who said yes, signed the fight, and that's why that's the WBC eliminator. Shakur did not choose to fight Yoshino. Yoshino, off the ranking system, was the one who said yes to the fight. He's the number 5th ranked in the WBC, and this is a title eliminator for who is going to be ordered next to fight for the WBC strap, which Devin Haney currently holds. So that's what's going on. I just want to keep you guys up to date in what happened with why this fight was made. Why is it Yoshino? And if you guys don't know anything about him, go watch Yoshino versus Nakatani.
I saw the fight. I saw his last 2 fights. I was not impressed, but what you're saying makes 1,000%. And shout out to Antoinette. She on my heels again. She said, "Pride fighter, why is Mexican monster ducking Boo Boo?" I don't know if this. I don't know about that. I got to see that. I don't know about that. You know, I don't know how
that's a good fight to make.
I can see I could see Boo Boo boxing him for the first couple rounds, and then like he get tired like he did in his last fight against the guy, you know, that was just there in the ring that night. You know, I don't know. That's a good fight. You know, I'm not saying that he can beat Boo Boo. You know, Boo Boo might go in there and put that shit on him. I don't know, but that's a tough one, man.
I think I would like to see Boo Boo versus Caleb Plant. Watch out.
I don't want to see.
I mean, coming on low.
Not right now. I want to see Boo Boo fight. He won. I want to see him fight. You know, Benavidez next.
Jamal.
Or I'm okay with the Jamal Charlo if he wants to go back down to 60, or does Maul come up? You know, either way, I'm good for that fight. I don't want to see Caleb Plant. He has no gas tank, and I don't want to see that. And they both of their gas tanks were suspects in their last fight. So, you know, I don't want to see that. I want to see the Benavidez Boo Boo or Charlo Boo Boo. I don't want to see Boo Boo and Plant next. Not next.
What y'all think about Boo Boo versus Anthony Durrell?
Nah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Anthony Durrell no more. Yeah, I don't want to see Durrell no more. He had a solid career.
Come on, Boo Boo needs a fight, guys. You don't see everybody's getting fights, but Boo Boo, like Boo Boo versus Jose Ustaki, former champion. What's up?
That's not a fight. That's not a fan-friendly fight for us hardcores. We probably could appreciate it. Me and you and I, BBO.
Bro. That'd be boring, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to see. You know, he's solid, but I don't want to see that next. I want to see Boo Boo. He needs a fight, man. You know,
I know, but the names. You see, like the same thing that's happened with Boo Boo seems to be happening again, where guys are busy. And he's there holding the flagpole, like, all right, I put them on. There's my introduction. What's up?
What's McCall ready though? Mexican Monster, he right there. He just had a fight. You know, Boo Boo just had a fight, and
unfortunately, according to sources,
they're not too far off from, you know,
their fights.
Yeah, they're not too far off, like as far as the layoff. So I don't want to see. I don't want to see Demetrius Andrade in there with nobody. Not
you breaking up,
or Benavidez. Other than that, I'm done with him too. I don't want to talk about him no more until he get in there with the dogs.
According to sources, David Morrell versus Benavidez, September. Sources, don't quote me.
I'm fine with that.
But I'm saying, right, if you got 2 guys already scheduled to fight, once again, you got Boo Boo out in the cold holding an ice cream cone. Let's go. Who is he gonna fight?
Yeah,
we need him to fight somebody.
Boo Boo ain't fighting nobody. He's really skilled, though. You know, I hate that his resume is what it is because he's so skilled. You know, I was a little shocked about his gas tank in the last fight. Man, Boo Boo can fight, man.
Boo Boo ain't Boo Boo a gold medalist? Am I tripping? Am I putting? I'm saying on full stuff. Correct me if anything. Is Boo Boo a gold medalist?
No, he didn't make the Olympic team.
Okay, copy.
Yeah, he missed
the
Olympic team. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
He
doesn't
lost.
take away from the
No,
Yeah,
no,
what he
no.
did. Yeah, correct. He
No,
beat
got
Keith
he
he gonna
Thurman,
throw it like
Sean
that.
Porter. Yeah, he beat a lot of the champions that we know of today in the amateurs. So, and I know it's the amateurs, but
hey, they talk about
they start
Lomachenko's
somewhere.
amateur pedigree all the
Ah,
time, so it's
here we
okay.
go. Here we go.
Okay.
Y'all always bring up that one.
So it's okay.
And we got a couple comments, prize fighter, man. I don't want you to miss out on those comments,
What?
bro.
Which ones? I ain't seen no comments.
We got. I'll put them up on the screen. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I see it. It says Boo Boo is still getting ducked. Prize fighter still prize fighter speak the truth. Jesus Christ, I couldn't get it out. Yeah,
because
I think
it's hard for you to
definitely
speak the
getting
truth, man.
Yeah, he definitely
getting
getting ducked. Canelo Alvarez ducked him for the biggest payday for Undisputed at 68, and he went on and took less money to fight somebody else. I couldn't remember who he fought, but yeah, Canelo definitely ducked him. I don't care what nobody say. And you said the undercard never speaks about Spanish fighters.
The undercard, me?
I don't know what you
Undercard.
mean by that, Antoinette. What undercard you talking about? I don't know which one you're talking about, but
I think she's talking about undercard in the chat. And
me?
Undercard in the chat definitely don't speak about no Spanish fighters, man. This brother.
What you talking about? I acknowledge them. I would give me a topic and I'll flow elegantly about who you want me to talk about. Virgil Ortiz is a dog. I just think Boots will watch him. That's you see. I spoke about him.
I've been telling you, Boots don't want no parts of Virgil Ortiz, and I haven't heard you say nothing about it.
Frank Martin
got some issues going
beat the brakes off of Virgil Ortiz in the amateurs. Frank Martin, a 135-pounder, beat the brakes. BVO voice off Virgil Ortiz. I got the video and everything.
Damn.
Beat the
you gotta
brakes.
send that John to me. I ain't see that John.
I got you.
You know that Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs too, right?
And he lost in the majors. Let's talk about it. Don't bring it up.
Damn.
Who guys beat the brakes off of Sean Porter? They robbed that man.
I forgot about Sean Porter beating Usyk in the amateur. That was crazy.
That was you know what? See, the thing is, man, that's what I love about the box community that we got, man. We young brothers actually know the sport, because
a little bit.
If you think about Sean Porter, he doesn't get nearly enough credit. Maybe because he stayed at 147, but why would you go anywhere else if you're getting all the big fights?
Man, Sean Porter resume crazy. He got every name that you want to see on his resume. Win, lose, draw.
Yeah. And you know it's funny, he's actually a 154-pounder who decided to come down and campaign at 154. Because in the amateurs he fought at like 152. So he was always a bigger dude.
Shout out to Sean Porter for not ducking and fighting all the
Shout out to the Porterweight podcast. Have me on so I can cook the hell out of Sean Vitale. Hi, what's up? Stop ducking me. I'm joking. I'm just waiting. This is all for clickbait.
Hey, man,
messing around.
You know what's funny? And you know the funny thing about it, man. You say that as a joke, but just think of this, man. Coming up, this is the first time I can say in a long time. We got two young fighters since probably Roy Jones and B Hop, about the fight. And the cool thing is, why did Ryan call out the Devin Haney? But I ain't heard Tank. I didn't hear Tank say a word about it.
Say again.
I said, how come you hear Ryan talk about he want Devin Haney next, but you don't hear nothing? You ain't hear Tank say a word about it.
I heard Tank say something like, I want to fight Devin next before. I heard him say that.
Yeah, he said Devin Shakur before I retire. Come, guys, keep your receipts, man. You got to hold on to them. You can't just selectively hear when you want to hear. He said that. Yo, listen, I want Ryan, Devin, Shakur, and then I'm done with boxing.
Yep.
Like, where were you, BVO? I got you. Head on the rock. And said, okay. If it don't fit what you trying to push, I get what you're doing, BVO. I see you.
No, I'm not. You know what's funny, man? This is funny. If you think about me in general, man, I'm one of the rare boxing fans that tell you what I see. I see it like this. I've never been a fan of slick boxers, and I had to give the Mexican Monster some extra credit because he had to beat Caleb Plant and he had to beat the referee, and that's no easy thing. because that referee, if you want, hey, and me and Price probably covered that fight. The referee made himself a part of that fight because
Can
he
I ask you
doesn't
a
like
question?
fighters. He
Like,
wants to see more of that slick boxing, which is boring.
I mean, you know what? And I never seen that was Kenny Bayless, right?
Yep.
I never that
The
he
great
had a
Kenny
bad
Bayless.
night because overall Kenny
Thank you.
Bayless is a A+ referee. He's not a Jack Reese.
Oh,
You know, I
about
think
it.
Kenny Bayless is probably, you could argue, he's top 3 referees right now.
Yeah.
And
When
he
you
had
see
an
him on the
off
thing,
night. I don't know why he made himself bigger than the fight itself, because everybody kept talking about Kenny Bayless more than the actual fight. So,
right. Like clinching
Kenny
is
had a
part
bad
of
night.
boxing.
That's what I'm running with that.
Clinching is part of boxing. Excessively,
not holding.
Yes, but here's the thing. This is where you give out warnings. Like he said, had a bad night, but it could have been avoided if he had just spoke up after a few because if you notice, that's his pattern. Okay, he's gonna punch and he's gonna try to, you know what I mean, clinch, not hold, clinch. It's part of boxing if it's done correctly. It was
Kenny
being done
Bayless
correctly.
did a
That's why
great
Kenny
job
was like,
in
yeah,
a
that's why
previous fight.
Kenny wasn't like, oh my God, let's deduct 3 points. By the way, can I ask you guys a question since you covered the fight? Was the scorecards not as wide on yours as it was to the judges? Because that wide UD that thing got.
Yeah, that
To me kind of shook
what
me
was
like
that card? Was that the one? What card was that?
118,
What was that card? It was
118 or
real
something.
crazy.
Yeah,
Talking
like
about Plant
Bro, they made it
Benavidez,
look
right?
like he won 2 rounds.
Yeah, that I don't
he
understand where
won
they
the
saw
first
that.
6.
I saw Caleb Plant boxing him the first 5 to 6, and then after that,
All right. So
it
you
was
guys have
over, man. It was
okay.
punishment.
His gas tank went up again. You know, Caleb
He
Plant
ran
one of
out
them
of
fighters.
that.
Yeah,
He
I
went
was
out of that
upset because I
93.
was pushing Larry Wade the whole time. Like Larry Wade, he had 2 strength and conditioning coach, so we got to fire both of them.
I mean,
You know
everybody
what I mean?
that get with Larry Wade, man, whether it's
Tonight.
Sean Porter, whether it's what's his name, King Kong Ortiz, everybody that get with Larry Wade loses, bro. Larry Wade is like, I don't know what he does, bro, but help people lose.
Larry Wade was with Robesi Ramirez. Yo, cut it out. Yo, where are you getting your facts from, BBO?
I'm just telling you, did you see him because Larry Wade was in the camp with Ortiz against Wilder, the second fight, and he still gassed out because people forget King Kong Ortiz gassed out. It wasn't just the fact that Wilder knocked him out; he just gassed out. I mean, at the end of the day, man, Larry Wade is put up as this big strength and conditioning coach, but man, every time he get with a fighter, man, they lose.
Listen, I'm betting Marlon Telapil. I don't know how to say his last name versus MJ on Bam Rodriguez card. I'm hoping that he gets the knockout so we can get those 2 belts away from MJ. Tell you fellas and everyone in the chat, have a good night. Thank you for having me on the panel. Guys, great peace and blessings to everybody. Undercard and Boxing signing out.
I appreciate you, bro, for jumping on here. Really do. Salute to you.
Hey, but you know the funny thing about it though, man, prize fighter that really get me with this boxing stuff is that no matter what me and you talk about, bro, isn't it crazy how we got to talk about the same fight for like 6 months, 7 months?
Yeah, it's nothing else really going on, man. It's like it's tough, but I love the sport so much I can get up here every day, 5 days a week, and talk about the same stuff. You know, I really could.
Yeah, I could do the same, man. I'll tell you this though, it really gets me, man, when I think about boxing and how much it's changed from when it was when we was kids. But I'm gonna let you get the final words. I'm hanging out with my wife down here. She at work, so I'm watching Miss BBO down here. So go ahead, and let the people know something new, man. Can you hear me?
Man, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, your mic keep going out. Go say it again. I didn't hear nothing you said, brother.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, my phone is blowing up right quick. All right, yeah. Shout out BVO Nation, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, all y'all that commented. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like on y'all way out if y'all didn't, man. And get y'all boys right, man, for us, man. We come up here giving out y'all time. We got families and stuff, man. So we definitely we love coming up here cooking for y'all, man. So this it's free to hit this like button, it's free to hit the subscribe, and it's free to comment, man. Make sure y'all do that for us, man. For real.
And we out of here, man. And just so anybody know, man, on a playback, man, me and Prize Fighter, man, we're gonna be doing this thing, man. we're gonna be like the Black Stephen A. and Skip Bayless out here.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
check your boys out, man. We coming hard and we gone. Peace.
BVO Nation. Yeah.